But now on top of that, Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears said Monday that Sanchez is also facing a charge of battery involving serious bodily injury.
This is by no means the end of this investigation. This by no means means that these are going to be the final charges that we move forward with.
And that is also a level 5 felony charge, which carries a sentencing range between 1 and 6 years. Police say the man who stabbed Sanchez did so after things escalated in a fight between the two of them. The man says he had to defend himself because if he didn't, he feared Sanchez would have killed him. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
There's a new candidate for Indiana Secretary of State. Bo Bai is running for it as a Democrat. He explained why in a video he posted to social media this morning.
We deserve a Secretary of State that works for the people, not himself. So here's my plan. First, accountability for every tax dollar. I'll call out corruption, wasteful spending, and government abuse wherever we find it.
He also says he wants to support businesses that are helping the economy, make sure elections are fair and secure, and eliminate oppressive taxes. Bo Bai is the son of former Indiana Governor Evan Bai. The FFA will bring in tens of thousands of students and supporters who are set to come to Indianapolis at the end of this month to learn about agriculture, natural resources, and more.
National FFA is a national organization that really works with young people who are interested in agriculture, food, and natural resources, and helping them to develop their skills for premier leadership, personal growth, and career success.
That's Christine White. She is the Chief Program Officer of the National FFA organization. And tomorrow begins the NBA preseason for the Indiana Pacers. They will face the Minnesota Timberwolves. The regular season tips off on October 23rd against Oklahoma City. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
We still have plenty of days left to enjoy our backyard spaces. It's Terry Stacy, and thanks to Premier Deck Coating, our deck is protected from the harsh environment fall and winter bring. Harsh because our deck is surrounded by black walnut trees, so nuts have always stained our deck. We just don't have that problem anymore because of Premier Deck Coating. Our 25-year-old deck looks brand new, and it's not. Locally owned Premier Deck Coating is the ultimate deck protection. Their special formulated product repels mold and moisture, scratch resistant, all backed by a 10-year guarantee. Premier Deck Coating takes care of sanding the wood. They repair the damaged boards in preparation before they apply the special formulated coating. They can also do the same for pergolas and fences. You truly will be thrilled with the results. No more painting year after year, easy to take care of, and that saves time and money. Premier Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. There's still time to get you on the schedule before the year ends. For a free quote, visit premierdeckcoating.com.
WIBC traffic at 3:05. Good afternoon, Matt Bear.
Hey, Jake. Southbound 6570 slow. Michigan Street down to the south split because of construction. Northbound 65 slow from Raymond up to the south split. That's a 2-minute delay. Also a construction zone. Eastbound 465 beginning to slow from Allisonville Road to I-69. Traffic sponsored by 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. School has started, but summer temps are still here. Stay cool with 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, 24/7 availability, and free second opinions. Book now at onehourairindy.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And now here's the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered showers, maybe even a rumble of thunder overnight under mostly cloudy skies, mid-60s for lows. And on Tuesday, spotty showers, a rumble of thunder possible with highs near 73. I'm Wish TV storm tracking meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Jacob McDaniel on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! Hello, everybody. My name is Nigel, the gun guy, Guy Relford, filling in for Jason Hammer. Also live in studio, WIBC News Director John Herrick, talking about the biggest story in Indy. It's getting, obviously, national attention, but I think this is still probably the biggest story in Indy, the Mark Sanchez story, the Fox broadcaster, former quarterback for USC, and probably most famously known for the butt fumble blooper with the New York Jets. But he was in town to call the Colts game for Fox Sports and wound up getting stabbed and also arrested You have been covering this extensively. Ryan Hendrick from the WIBC newsroom has been covering this extensively. Can you just maybe there's some things I'm still not clear on. Can you maybe just start at the beginning?
Sure. So the very first report of a stabbing came in around 12:30 in the morning on Saturday. So all throughout the morning on Saturday, Jarrett Lewis was our Saturday anchor, was reporting about the stabbing, but IMPD had not released anything about who had been stabbed.
Yes.
And then it comes out with TMZ that it was Mark Sanchez. So we're feverishly calling IMPD, doing everything we can to get some documentation that it was, in fact, him. They don't release the identity of people involved unless they've arrested them or unless the person has died. So they didn't release his identity until they knew that they were going to arrest him. Fox Sports PR put out a statement saying that our thoughts and prayers are with Mark Sanchez. We are appreciative of the fact that he is getting exceptional care. And at that point, we knew it was indeed Mark Sanchez. And then, of course, it evolved into more of the probable cause affidavit comes out and says that he gets into a scuffle with this truck driver. They had a dispute.
A 69-year-old truck driver.
Yes. Who was just, I guess, there to make a delivery order.
Where?
It was behind the Westin Hotel, I think, on Washington Street and Senate. And so what the report says is that Mark Sanchez was in this alley doing sprints of some kind. I don't know. It sounds like he was doing some
Getting
sort of
jacked up.
Yeah, I guess. And he tells this driver that you can't park here. And the driver got confused, like, well, wait, do you work here? And he's like, no. But he's like, you can't park there. And then they got, next thing you know, words got had, and then they're involved in some sort of scuffle, and Mark Sanchez gets stabbed, and then a nearby bartender helps Mark Sanchez get to the hospital.
Wait a minute. So did Mark Sanchez get in a guy's truck at one point?
Yes, yeah.
And the worker guy, the 69-year-old pepper sprayed him, right?
Yes. So there was what the probable cause affidavit says is that he entered this truck for some reason, got into it with this guy, and then that guy said he had to pepper spray him and then stab him in self-defense because he felt
so he stabbed him in the truck.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And one of the criminal charges, by the way, is unlawfully entering a motor vehicle.
Yes. So he's facing, and then the update today is that he's now facing a felony charge of battery involving serious bodily injury.
That was the press conference with IMPD Chief Bailey and Ryan Mears.
Correct.
The prosecutor.
That was, yeah. And now some people have asked, is he facing the misdemeanor charges or just the felony? He's facing both. He's facing this felony charge on top of the misdemeanor charges.
So Sanchez was stabbed in self-defense with this guy's knife. Have you seen the pictures of the victim?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Do we know how he was injured exactly? That's the one I'm confused. Did Sanchez take his knife and put that big gash in his cheek, or did he throw him up? They eventually throw him up against a trash can or something?
The accusation is that that's what happened, and that the driver said that he thought Sanchez was going to kill him. Now, the family is trying to remain anonymous in all this, but they sent out that picture yesterday.
Dude. Allegedly, Sanchez effed that guy up.
Yes.
I mean, and it looks like he took a knife to his jawline.
Yeah, and there's a really serious gash.
That's what I'm saying.
Above it. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder what that's from. Is it from his own knife? There's nothing about Sanchez using a weapon in that so far.
I don't know I'm not exactly sure what kind of weapon he used. All I know is from what Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears told the media today, along with that picture that was circulating, is he said, because I asked the prosecutor's office this weekend, I said, how is he only getting misdemeanor charges?
Yeah.
And they said to me over the weekend that they might upgrade them or find more. Well, that was what this presser was about. They said they had enough to charge him now with the felony, and that's why they decided to add that on there.
And by the way, battery with a deadly weapon is a separate level 5 felony. that he has not been charged with. The Sanchez has not been charged with. So
battery with a deadly weapon.
Yes.
He's not been charged.
That he's not been charged with. So, and there is one reference in the probable cause affidavit that John mentioned, that Sanchez threw this guy up against a dumpster.
That's what I was talking about.
And that could easily, I'm speculating obviously, but that could have caused a gash in his cheek, without necessarily it being a knife, for instance. But I'm sure there are going to be many more facts that come out. One question I would ask you, John, is what do you think sort of a way this story morphed dramatically from the time we started getting initial reports through basically what we know now, and there are still facts to come out. For instance, a lot of conflicting reports, a lot of finger pointing going on after the fact. And I even had some knucklehead today jump my case on my Facebook page saying, your original post on this was way off. And all I did was repost the TMZ report that had a statement from Fox News and said, horrible look for Indy, which it is. I don't care who's at fault. A guy like this getting stabbed in downtown Indy is not a good look for Indy. I said, horrible look for Indy, prayers for his rapid recovery. That's all I said. I didn't point fingers. I didn't blame the mayor. I didn't blame the prosecutor. But there are a lot of early posts and early reports out there. That's one thing.
The lieutenant governor.
Yeah, and I bragged on the WIBC newsroom, by the way, on my show on Saturday, because you guys were doing it right.
Yeah,
you were quick, but you were accurate. But I just want to know what you think about how this story kind of morphed, and if there are any lessons in this for maybe some of the other media outlets out there.
Yeah, I just think the biggest thing you have to do is, and I have no issue with what TMZ put out there. And when Jason Hammer, our colleague, let me know about it, I said, I appreciate you letting me know, but I need to make sure I do some digging and get the right response and get the appropriate responses from the people involved. And so I was calling and texting my sources. Obviously, Ryan Hedrick was calling and texting his sources. And I just think the biggest thing you need to do, it's so easy. And I've made this mistake myself. So I wasn't really critical of people in my head. I was more just, you know what? I get this is a really highly emotional story, but you can't jump to the conclusion yet that you think you know what happened yet until the facts come out. And you also you sort of need to work with police there, because the police are not trying to impede you. They just want to make sure they get things right. Same thing with the attorneys. So I think you have to calmly assess each situation and make the appropriate phone calls before you go off on a tangent. I think there's where a few people that did that, and I get that. I understand that. But that's when we always talk about that in the newsroom, just remaining calm to make sure you get the situation assessed properly.
I agree completely with all that, and it's particularly true when it comes to assigning blame.
Yes.
Right? Because a lot of people went out there and immediately started pointing fingers. I said this is a bad look for Indy because Mark Sanchez getting stabbed in downtown Indy is a bad look for Indy. I don't care who's at fault. But when you start saying, and it's so-and-so's fault, or this is another result of so-and-so's failures, I think that's when you get out ahead of your skis a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so Guy, you're a criminal defense attorney, albeit your specialty is Second Amendment.
No, self-defense, though. I've had a lot of...
So this is a self-defense? This could be...
100%. And I've had a ton of self-defense battery with a deadly weapon, aggravated battery, we call it, battery with serious bodily injury. I've defended all those, many of them.
What kind of... just off the top of your head here at the beginning, as we don't know everything that happened, what kind of time are we looking at, if any, for these kinds of charges?
Investigations can go on for quite some time. Charges can be amended even substantially, or over a substantial amount of time. So I wouldn't be shocked at any of that. But one thing that's important to note is, that it was reported universally, and I think it's consistent with the probable cause affidavit, that Sanchez was quote unquote not cooperating at the scene, which is cop speak for did not give a statement. And so I haven't seen, John, correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't seen that Sanchez has made a statement yet.
Well, didn't he
to
tell
police or otherwise?
Something about he grabbed the window and he didn't remember what happened?
Yeah,
he told the police that, or did he tell the bar owner that?
He told the police that, I think he said he grabbed the window and that's all he remembers. He definitely said it to witnesses or some people at the scene.
Yeah.
I don't think it was dubbed an official statement.
Okay.
Now, funny story about that. Our Ryan Hedrick today looked up Mark Sanchez's cell phone number and called the number, and somebody answered.
Oh, wow.
And whoever was on the other end said, "May I ask who's calling?" And Ryan said, "That's Ryan Hedrick from WIBC." And then that person just grunted and hung up. So That could have been Sanchez. Maybe that was one of Sanchez's representatives. But we are trying to get to see if Sanchez will make a statement. Now, he's probably not going to. He's probably going to let his attorneys handle it. But we thought we'd just do that, and that's great work by Ryan.
Is that? Do we know officially if he's hired Voiles?
Yes,
that's the go-to guy.
So the three attorneys that are going to be representing him are Jim Voiles, Jennifer Lukemeyer, and Tim Delaney. Those are the three attorneys on the case. Which, I'm not surprised. Jim Voiles is a pretty high-profile attorney in Indianapolis.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. And by the way, one thing to any self-defense case is there are always two sides of the story, and I'm not saying that Sanchez has any legitimate defense or whether he was absolutely justified in doing what he's doing. I don't know. Those facts are going to have to come out. But my point in raising the issue of Sanchez apparently not giving a detailed statement yet, that means by definition that the probable cause affidavit was based primarily on what the current alleged victim had to say. And I also understand there may be some video which kind of cuts way down on the he said, she said.
Or all you have to do is look at the alleged victim.
Yeah.
Well,
there's probably that too.
Well, I've defended cases where the other person died, but it was completely 100% justified and legal based on self-defense.
Okay.
So injuries don't spell it out. And I just, as another word of caution out there, until Sanchez tells his story, whether that's in court or otherwise, we haven't necessarily heard both sides of it. Now, if there's video, again, huge point, because it doesn't matter what the stories are much at that point if it's clearly depicted on video evidence.
Where can we find out more details?
WIBC.com is where we have the latest. Obviously, it'll be talked about in our newscasts all day. And the full presser with Ryan Mears and Chief Bailey is embedded in our article at the top of the website.
Great work, gentlemen. Thank you. Matt Bear, what's going on with traffic?
Yeah, Nigel, looking at inbound 69 slows from 106 296. Inbound 65 slow, West Street to the north split. Southbound 65 70 delayed 2 minutes, Michigan Street to the south split. And eastbound 70 slowing down from west into the south split. South side, eastbound 465 delayed 6 minutes from 65 over to 74. That's running slow. Traffic sponsored by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store where you can find the looks all for under $30 with new arrivals every day. You never know what you'll find. Find a location at Macy'sBackstage.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Oh, man, we got a lot to talk about today. Guy Relford filling in for Jason Hammer. But next, huge fundraiser going out for first responders this Friday. A classic rock concert with Kansas and Jefferson Starship at the Everwise Amphitheater at White River State Park. We're going to learn a lot more on how you can support this fundraiser. That's next. It's the Hammer. I guess I got to do the temp, don't I? 76 and rain at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
By now, you've heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's a way to claim your unclaimed property from the Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division. It's not a scam. It's not houses, boats, cars, or storage facilities. It isn't free money. So what exactly is it? It's your money. It belongs to you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. It's money from unclaimed wages or commissions, forgotten bank accounts, underlying shares, refunds, insurance proceeds, stock dividends, safe deposit box contents, overpayments, certificates of deposit, money orders, and more. The Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division safeguards those funds while trying to locate and return those funds to the owner or heir. It's your money, you deserve it, and the Attorney General's office wants to make sure you get it. The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Hammer and Nigel to 46220. That's Hammer and Nigel to 46220. Or visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
My Galaxy Concrete garage floor is completely and totally out of this world, especially when you see the before and after pictures. My old garage floor was so dirty and cracked and uneven and unmaintained. It was awful. And within a day, Galaxy came in and turned it into something 4 times stronger, nice, glossy, smooth finish, easy to clean. And my neighbors are jealous. They're like, wow, is that epoxy? And I'm like, no, it is not. They do not use epoxy. That's kind of the old standard for garage floor coatings. What they use is polyurea. It's the new premium standard for coatings for garage floors. Galaxy, look, they can do your garage, basement, pool deck, any indoor or outdoor concrete area, okay? So check out their website and see pictures, get a quote, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or call 751-9070.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Hi, this is Denny Smith, and it's time to get ready for spooky season by getting rid of all that spooky dirt, grime, and mess. Halloween brings out the best in people, but it also brings out some pretty scary crud from all the foot traffic. So how about calling in the cleaning pros at Zero Res? This October, they've got an unbelievable deal. 3 rooms, 0 resified, starting at just $129, plus 15% off dryer vent and air duct cleaning. And speaking of air ducts and dryer vents, did you know October has Fire Prevention Week? The U.S. Fire Administration reports thousands of home fires start in clogged dryer vents every year. Let's not let spooky turn into smoky, folks. Whether it's carpets, tile, vents, or ducts, Zero Res makes it easy. No soap, no harsh chemicals, just clean that stays clean, thanks to their amazing ZR water. Now mention WIBC, get your 3 rooms cleaned starting at just $129 and take 15% off your vent cleaning while you're at it. Call 317-388-5141. Schedule online at ZeroResIndy.com. That's ZeroResIndy.com.
Struggling with chronic joint pain? Don't want risky surgery or endless pills? QC Kinetics is your answer. Our non-invasive treatment stimulates your body's own biologics and has a fantastic success rate without lengthy recovery or harmful medications. Ready to live your life pain-free? Go to QCkinetics.com/Indianapolis or call 317-559-PAIN and get a no-obligation consultation. Whether it's stem cell, PRP, or a number of other revolutionary therapies, QC Kinetics should be the last call you make. Call 317-559-PAIN.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is Denny Smith, and I'm here to tell you that a neglected well can lead to costly repairs. But C&J's got you covered with their well cleanout service. Right now, it's 30% off, and that's the lowest price of the year. C&J will remove the pump, insert a high-output airline into the well, and then safely airlift years of sediment and gunk out of the top of the well. Then they'll also do a 6-point inspection to assure that you and your family get the purest, safest water. C&J. Great systems and great people, too. 317-852-WELL.
Weekday mornings at 7:15, the Tony Katz Popcorn Moment. Brought to you by Boer Remodeling. Don't wait any longer for the kitchen you've been dreaming of. Request a consultation at BoerRemodeling.com.
Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show. My name is Nigel, gun guy filling in for Hammer. Something really cool going on at Everwise Amphitheater this Friday. It's a big benefit. We were talking about this with IMPD Chief Chris Bailey a couple of weeks ago. This organization, Frontline, is putting on this benefit concert with legendary classic rock bands Kansas and Jefferson Starship. And this is a big benefit, raising money for Indy's first responders. We're going to go to the hotline and bring on Dane Nutty. He is the president and CEO of the Indy Public Safety Foundation. Dane, how are you, my man?
I'm doing well this morning. How are you?
Doing excellent. And first of all, what is Frontline, and tell me about the show.
Yeah, so Frontline is the Indy Public Safety Foundation's kind of signature fundraising event each year. So it's an opportunity for us to raise some vital funds, but also kind of bring our first responder and communities together. And this year we are incredibly excited, as you said, to have 2 iconic rock legends such as Kansas and Jefferson Starship in one show. We're super pumped to be able to put that on, not only for the city and the community, but for our first responders as well.
Okay, so Frontline is your signature fundraising event, like you said. Maybe expand out just a little bit and tell us what the Indy Public Safety Foundation is and how you're involved.
Yeah, so that's a great question. The Indy Public Safety Foundation, we're a nonprofit here in Indianapolis, about 10 years old, established with really kind of a very simple goal is in making sure that our first responders have what they need resource-wise to do their job safely and effectively. So whether that's a piece of equipment, a training, a tool, recognition, we're here to work with each of those agencies to help just really support the folks that serve and protect our community each day.
So maybe mention some specifics here. What is there? Are there dollars that are going to be raised at this concert on Friday at Everwise with Kansas and Jefferson Starship going to specific items for Indy's first responders?
Yeah, so really this fundraiser is to help fund the Indy Public Safety Foundation, and the dollars that we get that we then invest in agencies throughout the year. We invest over $1 million a year, whether that's in things such as, a lot of times it's a recognition program, so it's Officer of the Month, those types of things. We buy equipment, so you name it, we've probably bought it at some point. Anything from, Stop the Bleed mannequins to stick-resistant gloves for IMPD. So this helps fund kind of the overall operation and the Indy Public Safety Foundation so that we can then throughout the year ensure that we're getting all the dollars and resources we can into those agencies.
Dane Nutty, President and CEO of the Indy Public Safety Foundation. Frontline is putting on this benefit concert with Kansas and Jefferson Starship this Friday, Everwise Amphitheater, White River State Park. Can you think of maybe one specific need that's imperative for first responders that we can raise money for?
I can't identify one specific need, but I would tell you the kind of theme. First responder wellness is a really important theme, especially over the last 4 to 5 years. That has grown significantly. And I think we had during, 2020 and the pandemic, we had a heightened awareness of what those folks do for us every day. That kind of awareness and recognition has certainly waned a little bit just because life got a little bit back to normal, right, or a new normal. But the demands on those first responders have certainly not decreased. And so
expand on what you mean by wellness.
Yeah, so wellness for first responders is everything from ensuring that they have access to mental health support, that they have access to physical health support, financial health support, really any of those areas that ensure that we're recognizing and supporting what they do and the trauma that impacts their life, that we can have resources available to them so that they have, their family life doesn't suffer because of it. Because just overall ensuring that.
You see some pretty traumatic things as a first responder, whether you're an EMT or a law enforcement, and you have to process those things. And wellness, you're telling me, is one of those things that you'll be raising money for.
Yeah, absolutely. And wellness looks, can be different. It can be everything from recognizing what they do each day to making sure they do have proper equipment and training, right? Because that's all part of ensuring that they feel supported and recognized and valued for the work that they do from our community.
And I'm sure there's going to be plenty of first responders and law enforcement on site. Do they understand? Do they appreciate? I'm sure they have to just be, beside themselves, like with the outpouring of support, having classic rock bands come in and raise all this money for them. How do they feel when they see the show of support from the public?
Yeah, the response has been incredible. So from the start, we kind of made a pledge that any first responder that wants to attend, we'll make sure we get access to them to afford them that opportunity. The response has been huge. I think not only just to see all these community and business, organizations that are helping sponsor and supporting them, but then again, having two iconic legends coming here for this specific event. And, it's going to be a night that shows them some love from stage, from the tactical tailgate beforehand. I think the response has been pretty incredible, and it's something that they needed a little bit. We cannot thank them enough for what they do for our community, and this is one big way to do that.
Besides the concert, is there anything else people can expect to see and experience at this event this Friday at Everwise Amphitheater?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So 7:30 is when the concert begins, but that hour beforehand, so from 6:30 to 7:30, we're doing what we call the tactical tailgate. So that's where all the apparatus from the different agencies, their equipment, their tools, they bring them all out, and we really create an environment where people can get kind of hands-on with first responders, and they figure out put on the SWAT gear or check out the ladder with IFD, and so really make it kind of a public safety playground, if you will. But it also does something more than just give some cool experience. experiences, it really allows people to connect with first responders on a human level. I think we often forget that they are humans with families and feelings a lot of times. And so it allows us to have some of that meaningful engagement and really learn about what they do for our community each day.
Well, I think what Indy Public Safety Foundation and Frontline are doing this Friday is going to be amazing. Kansas, Jefferson Starship, celebrating Indy's first responders, raising money. Where can people get tickets? How can people get more information?
Yeah, absolutely. They can check our website out at indypsf.org /frontline, and that has all the information about the event. They can also just go to Ticketmaster.com, search for Kansas, and look for the date on Friday, October 10th, and they can buy tickets directly from Ticketmaster. And then either way, they can get connected with us and make sure that they have what they need to have an incredible evening.
Hey, Dane, God bless you, man. Dane Nutty, President and CEO of the Indy Public Safety Foundation. Best of luck this Friday. Tell your first responders, tell the law enforcement that the Hammer and Nigel show is thinking about them and praying for them, and we appreciate everything they do for us.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
20 ribeyes for $35. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at 2 locations in Indianapolis going on now. 20 ribeyes for only $35 in the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Just look for the big truck. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Also on the big truck is cases of T-bones, fillets, New York strips, burgers, and a whole lot more. Big truck sale. Marinated chicken breasts too. Don't wait. Big steak sale at 2 different locations. In the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. 20 ribeyes for just $35. Don't wait. Everything must go. Big truck sale. That's 20 ribeyes for $35. West 86th Street and Michigan Road. And the second location in the Hardee's parking lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Get there before the truck is gone.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A shooting happened over the weekend involving ICE agents. A cloudy sky, 74 degrees in downtown Indy. I'm Jake McDaniel, and this report is brought to you by Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 3:33. That's what Chicago police say as they are looking into this, but things got even messier when claims popped up that police were told not to show up at the scene. Chicago Police Superintendent Larry Snelling is pushing back hard against that idea.
When a crime is being committed, CPD is going to show up. We have a duty to investigate and protect our city.
Homeland Security says it happened when Border Patrol agents were out on a routine patrol Saturday morning when they were ambushed, rammed, and trapped by multiple cars. A suspect tried to run police over, which led them to open fire. The suspect was taken to a hospital, and she and another suspect are in custody. Indiana Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith is standing by his edited social media post about violence in Indianapolis. Here's WIBC's Ryan Hedrick.
The post on X came after former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez was stabbed on Saturday. Beckwith says that no matter who's involved, the incident shows a deeper issue with crime in the city.
Indianapolis has a problem when it comes to violence. Everybody agrees with that. We want to see violence stopped in Indianapolis. We've already been having these conversations. So when this popped up, it was just another violent incident that happened.
In the original post, Beckwith called out city leaders and said it's time that people elect people who take crime seriously. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And Taylor Swift completely crushed the competition at the box office this weekend. Over that weekend, for that matter, her film Taylor Swift, the official release party of a Showgirl, brought in millions of dollars, and that was just in its first weekend out. It was timed perfectly with the release of her new album. Coming in a distant second place was the Leonardo DiCaprio movie, One Battle After Another, which earned about $11 million in its second weekend. WIBC News Time is 3:35. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Why do so many foundation, basement, and crawl space companies ask for half your money up front? Could it be because that's easier to get than earning all your trust? At the Michaelis Corporation, they believe trust is earned, not demanded. That's why they do things differently. They start with a free inspection, no strings attached, to give you an honest assessment of what your home needs. No pressure, no surprises. When it's time for the work, they don't ask for a deposit or any upfront payment. Not a single dollar until the job is complete and you're 100% satisfied. That's how they've been earning trust for over 39 years. Whether it's sagging floors, moisture control, concrete repair, or a full crawl space encapsulation, you can count on Michaelis for repairs that last. Don't trust just anyone with your home. Choose the company that puts your trust first. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY today. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. The Michaelis Corporation, building trust beneath your feet.
You've got WIBC traffic at 336 with Matt Bear.
Eastbound 70 slow to the south split from Harding, delayed 3 minutes. Inbound 65 cleared up from 21st down to Meridian, looks good. Now southbound 65-70. Delayed 2 minutes, Michigan Street to the south split. South side eastbound 465. Stop and go traffic from I-65 over to Emerson Avenue. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, employee-owned B Window means business. Receive up to 50% off all products plus 2.99% financing and an additional $550 off your project. Trust a local. Trust employee-owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now your American Standard Cooling Weather Center forecast. Spotty light showers this evening become more widespread as the night goes on. Low temps in the mid-60s. Scattered showers tomorrow morning will be hit or miss by that afternoon. High temperatures in the mid-70s into our Monday. I'm Jake McDaniel on The Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
The only way to bag a classy lady is to give her 2 tickets to the gun show.
It's Monday Gun Day with the Gun Guy.
Just watch out for the guns. They'll get you.
Guy Relford.
Stop calling your arms guns.
Hammer and Nigel show.
Yeah, this is perfect. My name is Nigel. Guy Relford is filling in for Jason Hammer. He's a licensed firearms instructor and 2A attorney. How are you doing?
I am great, and thanks as always to our sponsor for Monday Gun Day. That's Premier Arms in Brownsburg, with the largest selection of new, used, and historic firearms in the Midwest, and PA Jewelers located in the farmhouse right out front. Check them out at 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg or premierarms.com.
So there was a press conference earlier today with Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears along with IMPD Chief Bailey. And all having to do with former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez, who was in town to call the Colts game for Fox. Now, all of a sudden, facing felony charges for Saturday's stabbing incident in downtown Indy. If you haven't heard about this, it's being covered extensively on this show, on this website, WIBC.com. But you and Amber were telling me about something that Russ McQuaid from Fox 59 asked.
Yeah.
A question he asked the prosecutor.
Yeah, apparently.
And it's like so eye-roll worthy.
Well,
like, I just... Can you maybe explain what he asked?
Oh, yeah. And apparently Jason, even on his day off, is watching the news conferences. But, yeah, the Chief Bailey and Ryan Mears, Marion County Prosecutor, gave a press conference. They were answering some questions.
They upgraded Sanchez's charges to level 5 felony.
Yeah, based on the fact that the victim now incurred, they say, serious bodily injury, and battery with a serious bodily injury is a level 5 felony. So they announced that, and they were answering other questions. And Russ McQuaid, and Jason
he
sent
once
this to me.
sarcastically called you a 2A scholar.
2A scholar.
Right.
That was at a hearing. Well, he was referencing a hearing where I testified in favor of a pro 2A bill in the legislature. Yeah. But he and I have kind of been going at it since then. But I should have known. And by the way, he covered the constitutional carry legislation extensively when we were trying to get that passed. And that's the context where he sarcastically called me a scholar, which, by the way, a Democrat on the committee had actually called me that sincerely and asked me a legitimate question. But anyway, Russ, he used to be good. I don't know what happened. I
think he's a good reporter. I think he's a good investigative reporter. But on this thing that he does on his, out in the open of these press conferences and the stuff that he puts on Facebook is just like radical.
I mean, I go back
I couldn't imagine letting my unbiased reporters put the stuff that he does on Facebook.
Well, and he's just so biased against the Second Amendment. I mean, he called the hero of the Greenwood Park mall shooting, my client Eli Dickin, called him the second shooter at the mall shooting.
You
but
gotta be kidding me.
In that context, by the way, I think he's still mad that constitutional carry passed when it did in 2022, because here's what he asked Ryan Mears and Chief Bailey. Considering Indiana is a constitutional carry state, how lucky are we that somebody's not dead of a gunshot wound? Now, this is in the context of a stabbing that was allegedly self-defense, according to the prosecutor's office.
Can you hear me rolling my eyes through the radio?
Yeah, right. Yeah, yes.
But there was no shooting.
There was no shooting. The gun wasn't involved, much less constitutional carry. Well, aren't we just lucky that given this horrific law we have in this state, and to Ryan Mears' credit, when he answers the question, he says, you know what, as we've looked at the numbers over the years, the number of cases that we've screened, we look at that through the lens of self-defense, and that number has gone up because there are more people armed and protecting themselves.
Mears said that?
Mears said that. And he said, which is a right that they have. So there you go.
Are you sure it wasn't Bailey that said that? Mears said that?
Well, I'm just reading the transcript, but he's saying
Okay,
they're saying that they have to be screened by the prosecutor. You know, I shouldn't attribute that because I actually don't know. That could have been Chief Bailey, to your point. But how
But either
biased
way,
do you have to
what a
be?
dumb question.
How lucky are we that no one shot given constitutional carry? Oh, please. And I said,
why is that a dumb question?
Yeah, but I said when it was passed, when we passed constitutional carry in 2022, I said, get ready, because for the foreseeable future, constitutional carry is going to get blamed for everything. I mean, from somebody spitting on the sidewalk to, who knows what. And here you go. You've got a stabbing downtown, and Russ McQuaid still wants to blame it on constitutional carry.
Well, Democrats are always. I can only assume Russ McQuade is a Democrat. By what he posts on his personal Facebook page is pretty evident. He hates the Second Amendment. He hates the gun laws. He hates constitutional carry. But it just seems like, in general, Democrats are always saying the American public wants stricter gun laws. They want it. The American public. The Democrats seem to have the pulse of the American public when it comes to guns. However, Reuters poll says otherwise, right?
Yeah, we just had a Reuters poll, and I think, correct me if you disagree, Nigel, but I think Reuters is seen as pretty, straight down the middle of the fairway. I don't know that they have a leaning left or right.
I would probably think they lean more left, but
that could very well
we
be.
can have another discussion about that.
But they ran a poll, and it turns out the majority of Americans, by a margin of 4%, actually, the majority like our gun laws today and are not in favor of stricter control. And then it went on to say that they prefer, by a significant majority, they preferred Republicans' approach to gun laws over Democrats in terms of political platforms. So, we always hear Democrats, to your point, saying, oh, we're on the side of the American public on this. We need to ban this type of weapon, or we need this restriction, or pass this other law. And it turns out a national poll done by Reuters just came out and refutes that directly.
Can you stick around? Well, of course you're going to stick around for a second segment because you're filling in for Hammer. But I want to ask you about the SCOTUS case. I want to ask you about if the government shutdown is affecting gun owners. Right back with Guy Relford here on Monday Gun Day, 93 WIBC.
Fall in Indiana is prep season, the smart time to get your home ready before the temperatures drop and the snow gets here. Because here's the truth. Roof, siding, gutter, and window problems don't fix themselves. One missing shingle turns into a bad leak. Clogged gutters lead to ice dams. And drafty siding or bad insulation means sky-high heating bills all winter long. That's why you need Moss Roofing. Family owned right here in Indiana for over 30 years, Moss Roofing gives you a free, no-obligation inspection. They'll spot problems now, before the cold settles in, so you're not scrambling in January. And here's a bonus. Thanks to new energy tax credits and Indiana Energy Saver rebates, you can save big on insulation and efficiency upgrades. That's money back in your pocket while protecting your home. So don't wait. Call Moss Roofing today at 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Cat sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 747-3665, or online at mossroofing.com. Get your home winter ready this fall with people you can trust. mossroofing.com, every shingle time.
It's Terry Stacy, and not too many locally owned businesses in central Indiana have been around 80 years. But Cardwell Do It Best on the south side has stood the test of time. Congratulations to Jeff Cardwell and Cardwell Do It Best, recently named 2025 Member of the Year by Do It Best. Autumn brings about whole new to-do lists, and Cardwell Do It Best has everything you need and even stuff you didn't know you needed, like extra keys. They make keys, including programmable keys and key fobs. Cardwell is your discount roofing headquarters, featuring dimensional roofing as low as $21 per bundle. And for the yard, find a full line of trusted lawn and garden products and Milwaukee M18 fuel cordless power tools. Come celebrate 80 years strong at Cardwell Do It Best. Locally owned, community trusted, and always ready to help you do it best. 3205 Madison Avenue. Shop online where you'll find over 67,000 products with free shipping at CardwellHomeCenter.com.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. If you're living with a chronic condition like diabetes, chronic heart failure, or a cardiovascular disorder, you might count on extra support with your health care too. That's why United Healthcare offers chronic special needs plans with extra benefits and a large provider network to choose from. Visit uhc.com/Medicare to find out if you qualify today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on. Provider network may vary in local market.
Hey, it's Rob. It's October, and this is when the weather really starts to shift. The mornings are crisp, the evenings are cooler, and before long, those chilly fall breezes will turn into full-blown winter winds. If your home's already feeling drafty or your energy bills are creeping up, now's the time to do something about it before the cold really sets in. And Universal Windows Direct is making it easier than ever with an October deal that's packed with value. Right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you're going to get the next 2 free with no limit, plus 0% interest for 3 full years. And to top it off, get an extra $500 off your entire home improvement project. Buy 2, get 2 free, 0% interest for 3 full years, and an extra $500 off your entire home improvement project. Now, some restrictions may apply. So to get all the details and schedule your totally free in-home estimate, call Universal Windows Direct today, 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574. Check them out on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
My brother never checks on Dad. Or, my sister won't make time to take Mom to the doctor. Are these things you've heard yourself say? This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. I have a caregiving tip for you. Stay tuned.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
Expressing anger or resentment toward unsupportive siblings can cause unmendable rifts in relationships. Don't try to control everyone else. You can only control yourself. The success of your caregiving journey does not rest on others. So enjoy the time with your loved one. This is your special time with them. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
At Advent, nasal congestion and sinus infections can be solved with an in-office 20-minute procedure. Elsewhere, expect surgery.
At Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling, our mission is to provide honest assessments and recommendations. We promise you'll never be sold something you don't need.
PricePointComfort.com. They are your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air dealer.
Snap it. Send it. Hear it. Your photos, your video, your voice on WIBC. Join the text club by texting WIBC to 317-239-9393.
My man, Matt Bear, what's going on with traffic?
It's happening, Nigel. Southbound 6570 slow for a 3-minute delay. It's Michigan Street to the South Split. Same construction, northbound 65, stop and go Raymond into the South Split. Eastbound 70 slowing and down Belmont into the South Split and delayed 3 minutes. Eastbound 465 on the south side tightens up after 31 over to I-65 and a little bit beyond. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, employee-owned B Window means business. Receive up to 50% off all products, plus 2.99% financing. Get an additional $550 off your project. Trust a local, trust employee-owned, trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
75 and clouds, maybe a little bit of rain at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center, 93 WIBC. I'm Nigel, Guy Relford, filling in for Hammer, still in the middle of Monday Gun Day. I think we're in, day 6, day 7 of the quote-unquote government shutdown. I'm sure, I can't believe you're here. You're functioning. How are we still able to move about? But I did start thinking about, does the government shutdown affect gun owners? I mean, can you still buy a gun because of the background check system?
Yeah, it's a twofold answer to that, Nigel. The National Instant Criminal Background Check System, which we abbreviate as NICS, that's what's used. It's run by the FBI out of West Virginia. If you just go into a gun store and want to buy your typical rifle, shotgun, pistol, they do a background check, an instant background check on you before they let you leave with that gun through NICS. NICS is still up and running. It's been deemed to be essential, performing a quote-unquote critical function. So NICS is running. You want to go to your local gun store, buy a gun, pass the background check, you can still do that. If you want to transfer an NFA item, by that I mean something regulated by the National Firearms Act, this is what regulates suppressors, what some people call silencers, or short-barreled rifles, or machine guns, short-barreled shotguns, a couple other categories. The processing by ATF of NFA applications to transfer, because you have to register those, unlike a typical firearm, and that's a separate process that's done by ATF. That ATF branch is shut down during the government shutdown. So you're not going to be able to transfer. And ATF had gotten quick. Last couple of suppressors I bought were like 3 days or less. I mean, they were fast.
What's up with that?
Compared to years ago, it used to be months and months and months. But not right now, because they're just not processing any. They're going to get a big backlog, I would assume, and then it'll be slow for a bit of time. So folks need to understand that.
2 minutes. New Supreme Court case. Can you explain the law in Indiana and what this is all about?
Yeah, well, this is a case. It's Relford versus Lopez, I believe, and it's out of Hawaii. And on the heels of the Bruin decision, the Supreme Court case that says, yes, you have a right to carry a handgun, much to Russ McQuade's consternation, you have a right to carry a handgun in public for self-defense. And what a lot of states did, including Hawaii, is they ran out and they declared a bunch of places sensitive areas, because the Supreme Court said, well, we're not saying that there's a right to carry everywhere, like in certain sensitive places like schools. So states took that language and seized on that and said, well, basically every damn place is a quote-unquote sensitive area where we're going to prohibit firearms. And what Hawaii did is they passed a law that said, unless a business owner has given you express permission to carry a gun on their premises, it's against Hawaii law. You go to prison for carrying a gun there unless you have I'm not talking about people who haven't prohibited it. I'm talking about prior express approval for you to carry a gun there. Then that's illegal in Hawaii. And, of course, that's going to apply to most places. So SCOTUS has taken that case, and I'm thrilled to see it, because I think it's going to further define, after the Bruin decision in 2022 or so.
Well, I mean, if you had to predict.
What's that?
If you had to predict, where's it going?
Oh, I think they're going to overturn Hawaii's law. It matters to me, though, how broad the ruling is. Are they just going to say this prior express approval requirement is going, or are they going to further define the right to carry and limit states' ability to just label everywhere a sensitive area, to really whittle away at the impact of the Bruin decision and the impact of the Second Amendment? So I think we're going to get a positive decision out of it. I'm just really curious how broad it's going to be.
All right, we've got deleted tweets from high-level local government officials regarding the Sanchez thing, but the response was pretty good. I like the response. We'll get to that. Do you want to do an Ask the Gun Guy segment or two,
where
people can call in and ask. I mean, I've got a 2A scholar sitting right in front of me, according to Russ McQuaid, Second Amendment attorney and licensed firearms instructor. Why don't we plan on doing Ask the Gun Guy at 4:30? Want to do that? Is that a good time?
Let's tee it up. Absolutely.
And then we'll get you to the very latest on what happened over the weekend with Fox broadcaster Mark Sanchez, the stabbing, the arrest, and everything in between. My name is Nigel. Hammer is out. Guy Relford filling in, and we will be right back. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
For service today. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard. I only use American Standard products. I only use American Standard dealers locally here, independently in Central Indy. Like the Morris family and their staff are here to help you out this fall to make sure your system is ready for that cool fall, winter weather ahead.
You could call Rachel, you could call Marcus, or you could call Malia today. Family Heating and Air always encourages you to call them for a free second opinion. So if you got a quote from somebody else that doesn't look right, call Family, because nobody cares for you like family. 317-577-8077. Ask about that indoor air quality as well. 577-8077. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
You probably have a dream retirement in mind, but do you know how to get there? The difference between dreaming and living your ideal retirement comes down to having the right plan. And that's where Howard Bailey Financial can help. At Howard Bailey Financial, we've created a free retirement toolkit to help you bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. Text DREAM to 888-262-1104 to download your free retirement toolkit that includes a retirement checklist, Social Security decisions guide, estate planning guide, and more. We want your dream retirement to be your reality. And it starts by texting DREAM to 888-262-1104. Let us help you take the next step toward the retirement of your dreams. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Who needs a Vegas trip to win big? McCordsville's got the jackpot right here. Financial Center, your newest credit union, is throwing a sidewalk series from September 30th through October 17th, every Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 2. Play games, win prizes, and enter a giveaway for $1,000 cash. So skip the long flight and just join Financial Center on the sidewalk. Find out more and explore exclusive offers at fcfcu.com/McCordsville. Federally insured by NCUA. Giveaway terms and conditions apply.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, charges against former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez have been upgraded. You'll hear why the son of former Indiana governor and senator has decided to run for Secretary of State, and a tragic accident happened right near a clothing store over the weekend in Greenfield. Those stories coming up next right after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
An appeal on Capitol Hill. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Senate Majority Leader John Thune urging Democrats to join Republicans supporting a short-term spending bill already passed by the House that would end a government shutdown.
Democrats have shut down the government because they refuse to accept a clean, nonpartisan bill.
Thune says it's driven by politics and opposition to the president.
And when their far left base demanded a showdown with the president, Democrats fell in line. And now it's the American people who are suffering the consequences.
Well, Democrats say they're fighting for the American people and want talks on health care funding, including Obamacare subsidies set to expire. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer just urging President Trump to press the House Speaker for negotiations. National Guard troops from Texas are heading for Chicago. Illinois' Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker calls it part of a Trump invasion that he says people don't want.
When it comes to public safety, they want civilian law enforcement when they need them, and jobs, and after-school programs for kids in the neighborhoods. They do not want Donald Trump to occupy their communities.
President Trump says the troops are needed to help protect federal agents and facilities. There's already a lawsuit over this in Illinois. This is Chicago. Police Superintendent Larry Snelling defends the response to violent protests, including car rammings against ICE agents over the weekend, denying that officers were told to stand down.
The chief of patrol would never tell someone to stand down when any fellow law enforcement agent is in trouble.
But Snelling also tells reporters the chief referenced in call logs may not have had all of the information at the time. A mixed finish on Wall Street, the Dow down 63 at the bell, but new highs for the S&P and the NASDAQ. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
There's new information. You've got cloudy skies and 74 degrees in the Circle City. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 4:02. There's also a new charge filed against the Mark Sanchez stabbing case. John Herrick reports.
Sanchez is a former NFL quarterback who police say was stabbed by a truck driver Saturday morning in downtown Indianapolis. At a Monday news conference, Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears said they've seen new evidence to show that Sanchez hurt this man badly.
Once we were provided with additional information about the victim's current medical condition, it became clear to us that additional charges needed to be filed.
So now Sanchez is charged with battery involving serious bodily injury, which is a level 5 felony. The man who stabbed Sanchez says he did it in self-defense. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Bo Bai, son of former Indiana Governor and Senator Evan Bai, has decided to run for Secretary of State as a Democrat. He explained why in a video he posted to social media today.
We're all sick of self-serving politicians dividing us for their own benefit. Enough already. It's time to come together and focus on what unites us, our families.
And if elected, he says he'll make sure elections are secure and fair and call out corruption when he sees it. A Greenfield woman was hit and killed by a truck yesterday morning. That happened after 10 o'clock as Geraldine Johnson was crossing Melody Lane from the parking lot in front of a clothing store. Johnson was treated by paramedics, was taken to a hospital, but she did not survive. The truck driver, Heath Mitchell, stayed there and cooperated with deputies as they looked into this. Mitchell took a sobriety test, but investigators do not believe alcohol or drugs played a role in this. And when the Indiana Hoosier football team played Iowa, they did not have one of their key cornerbacks, D'Angelo Pons. Hoosier head football coach Kurt Cignetti gave an update on his situation today.
I expect Pons to be fine and play. We found out late in the week he wouldn't be available for the Iowa game.
But he says he's pleased with the way the defense came together in his absence. Indiana's ranked 7th in the country. They face 3rd-ranked Oregon on Saturday afternoon at 3:30 Eastern Time. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. I'm here with Michaela to talk about water damage. Water damage at your home or business can come from heavy rains, broken or frozen pipes, and countless other ways. Michaela, if someone has a loss due to water, why should they call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local, family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years experience. We are manning the phones and ready to help 24/7, 365. Michaelis specializes in water damage restoration, is IICRC certified, and will restore your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
I know a big part of getting back to normal is dealing with the insurance company. Can Michaelis help there?
Yes, Michaelis works through the entire process on your behalf to make it easy and give you peace of mind.
If you have water damage, call the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, and mold, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
With your traffic at 4:05, Matt Bear, what you got?
Southbound 6570 stop and go traffic from the north split to the south split, and that is a delay of 2 minutes. Eastbound 70 slow to the south split from Hardy. Inbound 65 looking good, a little bit slow around west right now. Crash 30th at Kessler Boulevard north, and a crash south side Troy Avenue, Madison Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Moderna. Ready when you are. MNEX Spike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna is available now. Just click mnexspike.com. That's mnexspike.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
We're tracking an active Monday night with scattered or widespread showers and isolated thunderstorms. Lows in the mid-upper 60s. Tuesday, we'll see showers in more of hit-and-miss fashion throughout the day with high temperatures in the mid-70s under plenty of cloud cover and a little bit of some breezy winds as well. By Wednesday, high temperatures may only get into the upper 60s for what will feel more fall-like as well, with more sunshine back in the mix by the middle of the work week. I'm with TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Jake McDaniel on The Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is gone. The gun guy, Guy Relford, licensed firearms instructor, 2A attorney, sitting in his place. Couldn't think of a better time to have you in, as you were a criminal defense attorney. And what happened with former football player and football announcer Mark Sanchez over the weekend, and the 69-year-old man that he allegedly attacked would fall under the category of self-defense because Mark Sanchez was stabbed several times, but he was being very aggressive with this guy. I mean, we all know the story. I'm not going to go through it right now, but there were some people that got it wrong initially.
Oh yeah,
there were some people that thought, well, Indianapolis I think is still could be a dangerous place at night. It wouldn't be totally out of the realm of possibility that a crazy guy stabbed Mark Sanchez as he was coming out of his hotel or something like that.
Well,
okay?
I think that's. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So no, I was just saying. So when we finally find out that it was, he was the victim and the aggressor here in this, that was confusing to a lot of people. But there was a lot of erroneous tweets and information flying about.
Exactly.
What happened?
And I reposted the article put out by TMZ that included a statement from Fox Sports, Sanchez's employer, that said he'd been stabbed in downtown Indianapolis. And I reposted that, and I said, for instance, this is a horrible look for Indy. And I didn't attribute fault to anyone. I just said if somebody who's nationally known comes to Indy and gets stabbed. Now, a lot of people from the initial reports took from the reported facts, Mark Sanchez is stabbed in Indianapolis, an inference that is, for instance, a victim in a robbery. And a lot of people assumed that, and a lot of people published that. A lot of people tweeted with that as the inference.
Nobody said anything about a robbery in any article that was ever posted.
I know, but you started seeing that in people's tweets and whatnot because people were just drawing an inference that the facts, that, as reported, didn't necessarily support. So I think some people jumped the gun in reporting things as fact or drawing conclusions from reported facts that weren't yet warranted. And I think that's a lesson. That's why, again, I really applaud the way the WIBC newsroom under John Herrick's direction approached this whole issue, because when you read what they put out, they were putting out only the facts, just the facts, what had been established, and then updated as necessary, especially when IMPD started releasing more detailed information, including the probable cause affidavit that was filed in court.
Yeah, I think Rob Kendall had it right when he said that Governor Braun should not have deleted his initial tweet about the situation, which was, I've been clear, city leaders must do their jobs and hold criminals accountable. When Indianapolis headlines national news for a lack of public safety, it hurts our city and state. Hoosiers deserve better, praying for a full recovery from Mark Sanchez. Now, obviously, he didn't know all the facts there at the point. Mark Sanchez was allegedly the aggressor. Even though he was stabbed, he was arrested. So he deleted that tweet, which gave Ryan Mears, the prosecutor, who hasn't tweeted since 2022.
Oh, is that right? I did not know that.
Oh, Ryan Mears, the prosecutor, who there was a guy, I mean, it made national headlines about the guy that was arrested 99 times.
Yes.
And on the 99th or 100th time, he stabbed a guy at a gas station here locally recently.
Yeah, and dropped
but all
the
of a
attempted
sudden,
murder charge.
Ryan Mears, Billy Badass, responds to Governor Braun. The governor attempted to exploit senseless violence for political gain without knowing any facts. The truth didn't fit his narrative, and he deleted his tweet. Real leadership requires a basic understanding of facts and a desire to do more than just blame others. Which, look, he saw his chance, and he took it, and it was kind of an See, like if Governor Braun just would have said, "Hey, look, I'm not deleting the tweet. I still think there is some real problems with crime here in Indy. And by the way, you just put a guy in jail who you've let go 99 times for a stabbing." Braun did respond with, quote, "Wow, if one deleted tweet finally gets Ryan Mears to start paying attention to the violent crime epidemic in our capital city, putting violent criminals behind bars and keeping Indianapolis safe, then I will start deleting more tweets," which I thought was really clever. Pretty funny.
It was a pretty good comeback because
pretty funny.
With him having deleted the tweet, he was, I think, not looking real good, and Mears took a deliberate and perhaps reasonable shot back
Mears,
at him.
I don't know, reasonable?
Well,
because Mears has, again, the 99, just one of many examples of a guy that has been in jail 99 times, arrested, and then stabbed. Many of those previous arrests violent.
Oh, yeah. Well, two things can be true at the same time, right? It can be true that Governor Braun, to the extent that he was implying that Sanchez was an innocent victim of violent crime in Indianapolis, then he was out over his skis, and he got that wrong, and he jumped the gun. But to say what he said, which is that we need to do a better job of controlling violent crime in Indianapolis, and city officials in particular need to do a better job of that, is still a completely reasonable and truthful statement. So two things can be true at the same time. He drew an assumption he shouldn't have drawn. At the same time, we still do have a problem that needs to be addressed.
So they had the press conference today. Chief Bailey and prosecutor Ryan Mears for Mark Sanchez, now facing, former NFL quarterback, played at USC.
Yeah.
Big stud. I mean, and then became kind of a joke for the infamous butt fumble.
Oh, yeah.
Blooper.
That's still the number one blooper on ESPN of all time. But no, his senior year at USC led the nation in yards and touchdowns passing.
And now he's and he was going to call the Colts game.
Yeah. Yep.
And this happened. And then they called a press conference today to, up the charges. What does Ryan Mears say? I'm getting this from WIBC.com. Ryan Mears says he's upgrading Sanchez's charges to a level 5 felony battery involving serious bodily injury. This move is warranted because of the extent of the victim's injuries. Is there a way you could put in?
Yeah, no, and that makes perfect sense. Because here's how the battery statute works that defines that crime, Nigel. You know what battery is? I've said for years, battery is the easiest crime in the world for any prosecutor to ever prove. You know what a battery is? Battery is touching someone.
Yeah, you can grab somebody.
No, it's just touching someone in a rude, angry, or insolent manner.
Oh.
That's it. Like if you're in my way and I go, dude, move, and I shove you, that's a battery. Now, it's only a Class B misdemeanor. If you call the cops and the cops come and they say, well, were you injured when guy pushed you? And you say, well, no, I don't have any marks or anything. And then they always ask, did it hurt? Did you experience pain? Oh, yeah, it did hurt a little bit the way he shoved me. Now it's battery with injury, which is a Class A misdemeanor, up from a Class B. If you said, oh, no, I broke my wrist when I fell down after he shoved me, now you've got battery with probably moderate bodily injury, which goes up to a level 6 felony. And if you say, no, I fell down and cracked my head open, or maybe a big slash in the side of my face, like this gentleman has after the Sanchez incident, then that's battery with serious bodily injury, which goes up to a level 5 felony, which is more severe than a level 6. So when he says we upgraded it based on the extent of the injury, that's because that's the way the battery statute's written. If you just get hurt a little bit, it's still only a misdemeanor. If you get moderate bodily injury, it goes up to a felony. If you get severe bodily injury, it goes up to a more severe felony from there.
With a more possible severe outcome of punishment.
6 years is the maximum for a level 5 felony. It's 1 to 6 years is the range for a level 5 felony in prison.
Sanchez ain't doing 6 years. He ain't doing a year.
I have no idea.
He's got Voiles, and he's got that team.
Oh yeah,
and he hasn't done to my knowledge an official police statement.
No, I haven't seen any kind of a statement from him. And police said he wasn't cooperating, quote unquote, at the scene, which tells me he clammed up, which isn't necessarily a bad idea if you're the potential target of a criminal investigation. But yeah, no, if he doesn't have any other criminal history, and I have no idea whether he does or he doesn't, but let's say he's got a totally clean record and he gets convicted of a level 5.
Yeah.
He might do a little bit of jail time, like, weekend kind of a thing, or a few days, but probably not.
Let's go to, I want to play this piece of audio before we get to Matt Bear. So obviously he was here to call the Colts game with Fox.
Yeah.
And who replaced him? Do you know, Kurt? Who was?
Brady Quinn.
Brady Quinn.
Notre Dame.
Replaced him. Here's how Fox kind of dealt with Mark Sanchez's absence.
And we welcome you to Indianapolis, Indiana, as the Las Vegas Raiders visit the Colts. Thank you for being with us and for tuning in. I'm Chris Myers along with Brady Quinn, who is stepping in for Mark Sanchez. And obviously we all want to send out our thoughts and prayers to Mark and those involved in Friday's incident as we get ready for today's game.
Yeah, I think by then we all knew was there an arrest by then? By the start of the Colts game?
I think by yesterday afternoon.
I think we all knew what had happened.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they let him say anything. There's been some incidents that I've not personally been involved with, but been around. They're like, shut your mouth on this. Don't say anything on the air.
We're just going to pretend this didn't happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Matt Bear, what's going on?
Yeah, fellas, looking at eastbound 70 on the west side, okay? It's a stall on the exit ramp. Westbound 72 Holt Road. Westbound 72 Holt Road. That ramp is open. It is partially blocked. Southbound 6570 jammed up from the north split down to the south split because of construction. Same with northbound 65 Raymond up to the split. Eastbound 70 slow from west into the south split, and inbound 65 slow around west into Meridian. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
75 and cloudy at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Coming up next, Is This Anything? Followed by, we'll do 2 segments of Ask the Gun Guy.
Great. Awesome.
You want to do that?
Absolutely.
Ask the Gun. We'll do Is This Anything next, followed by Ask the Gun Guy.
We'll be able to take a lot of calls. I always love doing that.
A lot of calls. That will be at 4:30 on 93 WIBC.
Central Indiana knows tough, but your water shouldn't be. Indiana ranks among the hardest water in the country, and your home is paying the price. Connecticut's non-electric timer means no timer, settings, or headaches. Just water that works, even when the power doesn't. And the twin tank design means clean, soft water 24/7. Connecticut water softeners are the solution, made in the U.S. Visit ConnecticutIndy.com and mention Made in the U.S. for an additional $250 off your purchase of a softener. Connecticut, American-made, Midwest tough.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Jim's Heating and Air Conditioning. Owner Jim Scott is based in Clinton County, but they're now serving a larger area.
Boone County and Hamilton County, there are just not enough HVAC contractors in those areas to handle the demand. So we can offer a value for them because of our 5-star rating, family-owned, quality.
On the north side, give Jim's a call at 765-601-1461. Jim's is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
At Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center, you'll find a team of experts on your side.
all working closely to give you the guidance and support you need.
Everyone knew what every other doctor was doing. I didn't have to go to 3 different meetings. I didn't have to talk to them individually. You knew right there in the room. They came up with a plan together.
Learn more about Community MD Anderson at ecommunity.com/cancer.
Well, since my baby left me.
It's a tribute to the king of rock and roll. On October 17th and 18th, Frankie Marino and family come to the Hilbert Circle Theater to perform some of Elvis's most famous hits with conductor Enrico Lopez Yanez and the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra.
Well, it's so lonely it could die.
Don't wait. Get your tickets today. Tickets on sale now at IndianapolisSymphony.org or the ISO box office downtown.
Truck drivers, the holiday rush is here. Take advantage by becoming a Schneider driver. By driving for one of America's busiest carriers, you'll stay busy during the holiday season and throughout the new year. Plus, as a Schneider driver, you'll have access to top quality driver support and newer equipment spec'd with the latest safety and comfort features that drivers want. Don't wait. Get a jump on 2026 by exploring jobs in your area today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Struggling with chronic joint pain? Don't want risky surgery or endless pills? QC Kinetics is your answer. Our non-invasive treatment stimulates your body's own biologics and has a fantastic success rate without lengthy recovery or harmful medications. Ready to live your life pain-free? Go to QCkinetics.com/Indianapolis or call 317-559-PAIN and get a no-obligation consultation. Whether it's stem cell, PRP, or a number of other revolutionary therapies, QC Kinetics should be the last call you make. Call 317-559-PAIN.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov or text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 today.
This hour powered by Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling, your independent American Standard Air dealer.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed, presented by the Attorney General's Office here in Indiana. The Attorney General's Office reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every single week. Fast, easy, free to search at indianaunclaimed.gov. Guy, you have been the recipient of some cash floating around out there from indianaunclaimed.gov, right?
Absolutely. In fact, I texted the Attorney General with a picture of the check I got from Indiana Unclaimed and said, "This is awesome. Thanks so much." I got $2,500 back from Indiana Unclaimed.
Where was it from?
It was primarily, it was like 4 or 5 old accounts. One of them was like a checking account I opened when I was a kid, like cutting grass and stuff. I would put money in this, and just a few dollars sat in that for literally 60 years, 50 years, and it grew into a decent amount of money. So yeah, I got a check for $1,500 or $2,500 and change from those guys. So it's real, and they'll get you a check and it didn't cost you anything to check. You can just go on Indiana Unclaimed, put in your name, and it'll tell you if it's got any money for you.
A man in Colorado was stunned when he was charged nearly $20,000 at a Denver airport parking garage. He was just there 27 minutes, which means the fee should have been $7. Here's Jim talking about his experience.
After dropping off my wife, went through the parking gates as usual. This was the ticket that I got. It shows I entered the West Garage. I arrived at 1:34 p.m. on October the 2nd, 2025. As the gate was opening, I heard the Chase Bank notification that $19,824 had been charged to Denver parking. Something alerted the system
There's
to
a
the
glitch.
fact that I had arrived.
Stop it. Is this anything, Guy? I mean, a glitch in the system obviously charges Guy $19,000 to park there for 27 minutes.
Yeah, it's especially something if they actually suck $19,000 and change out of his checking account, if he's like using a debit card or put that on his credit card. And it's even more something if the bank isn't really fast in how they get that corrected. But you hear about this. You hear about people getting like a gas bill or a water bill for $300,000 or some insane thing. I think the more we go to automated systems, the more the ghost of the machine can do that to you a little bit.
That's exactly it. Let's stay in Denver. This past weekend, have you ever heard of an ultra runner race? You know what that is?
50K, right?
Yeah, 50K, 31 miles. This one was different in Denver. It was called the Taco Bell 50K, 31 miles, like you mentioned. It includes mandatory stops at 10 Taco Bells where you have to order and consume Taco Bell. Here are a couple of runners documenting their journey.
We're in Denver. We're at the Taco Bell 50K, and we're going. Fall down. Only 30 to go. We're at the second Taco Bell. It's 2 miles in. We're eating cinnamon twists. Mile 10, cheesy roll-up. Top 6, you have to eat a burrito grande. Mile 20, and we're at the next Taco Bell. Cheesy roll-up that has been in my belt for the past 5 miles. Mile 30, last Taco Bell.
Guy, is this anything? It doesn't seem to me like 31-mile race involving burrito grandes every 10 miles are a good idea.
This is shocking to me. I'm not big on fast food. I haven't been to a Taco Bell since college at 3 a.m.
Oh, you're kidding me?
No, I don't do a lot of fast food at all. But the idea of that, that kind of spicy food, and then all contemporaneously. I mean, when I played football and whatnot, I didn't like having anything in my stomach. I didn't eat for 3 or 4 hours before a football game. I get a nice big breakfast in college, but then not, I didn't want anything in my stomach when I'm playing football.
Yeah.
Running 31 miles with 10 stops at Taco Bell. I want to know how many portalettes they had set up along the way of this 31 miles. I mean, and none of that sounds appealing to me in any way.
You know what's funny? I'm going to be the last 2 stories we had involve Denver, the city. I'm going to be in that area at the end of this week, and you know what is happening there at the end of this week that I'm not going to be a part of?
No, what?
The Great American Beer Festival, the nation's favorite beer festival. I don't know if it's kind of a cultural phenom, and we're going there with the kids. We're flying in the day that it starts, but we're getting out the next day and going.
Oh man,
going out into the mountains.
My middle son,
and I'm like, oh, I can't believe I'm going to miss this.
Yeah,
and I'm going to be right there.
Oh yeah. Well, I guarantee you, there's going to be somebody named Relford there because CJ, my son, who's a school teacher in Denver, he likes a good beer, so I imagine he'll be checking that out.
Okay, let's take calls. 317-239-9393. We're going to do Ask the Gun Guy. You are a licensed firearms instructor. You are a Second Amendment attorney. You are a criminal defense attorney.
Yeah.
People might have what kind of questions might people ask of you? I mean, just
a lot of people know. Yeah, how the law of self-defense works, things about where you can and can't carry a gun. They may have questions about how the Indiana self-defense law works in the context of the Mark Sanchez issue. But anything gun-related, you want a recommendation, you want some instruction, you want some legal information, just give us a call, 317-239-9393.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Fall in Indiana is prep season, the smart time to get your home ready before the temperatures drop and the snow gets here. Because here's the truth. Roof, siding, gutter, and window problems don't fix themselves. One missing shingle turns into a bad leak. Clogged gutters lead to ice dams. And drafty siding or bad insulation means sky-high heating bills all winter long. That's why you need Moss Roofing. Family owned right here in Indiana for over 30 years, Moss Roofing gives you a free, no-obligation inspection. They'll spot problems now, before the cold settles in, so you're not scrambling in January. And here's a bonus. Thanks to new energy tax credits and Indiana Energy Saver rebates, you can save big on insulation and efficiency upgrades. That's money back in your pocket while protecting your home. So don't wait. Call Moss Roofing today at 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Cat sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 747-3665, or online at mossroofing.com. Get your home winter ready this fall with people you can trust. mossroofing.com, every shingle time.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Indiana. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
20 ribeyes for $35. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at 2 locations in Indianapolis going on now. 20 ribeyes for only $35 in the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Just look for the big truck. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Also on the big truck is cases of T-bones, fillets, New York strips, burgers, and a whole lot more. Big truck sale. Marinated chicken breasts too. Don't wait. Big steak sale at 2 different locations. In the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. 20 ribeyes for just $35. Don't wait. Everything must go. Big truck sale. That's 20 ribeyes for $35. West 86th Street and Michigan Road. And the second location in the Hardee's parking lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Get there before the truck is gone.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Chicago police are forcefully denying claims. Cloudy and 74 degrees in the Circle City. I'm Jake McDaniel, and this report is brought to you by Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 432. Claims they told their officers not to respond to ICE agents calling for help during recent protests.
The superintendent of Chicago Police, Larry Snelling, denying evidence and allegations from the Chicago police officers were ordered to stand down as federal agents came under attack.
I would never tell our officers to stand down, because if our officers were in trouble and we needed help from other officers, I would expect those officers to step in and help us.
Now, the evidence is digital communication that appears to come from the chief of patrol reading, "No units will respond to this." Also, radio traffic. Now, the scene was sparked Saturday in Brighton Park. 2 people allegedly rammed and boxed in the cars of federal agents. 1 agent shot an alleged attacker. Both alleged attackers are now charged with assault of a federal officer and use of a deadly weapon.
Fox's Mike Tobin reporting nearly 30 officers were gassed when looking into these protests. Indiana Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith defends his edited tweet about violence in Indianapolis, citing the stabbing of an ex-NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez as part of a broader crime issue.
Indianapolis has a problem when it comes to violence. Everybody agrees with that. We want to see violence stopped in Indianapolis. We've already been having these conversations. So when this popped up, it was just another violent incident that happened.
Indiana Governor Mike Braun also posted about the stabbing before all the facts were out. He later deleted the post, but not before Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears criticized him for speaking without knowing the full story. The average price for gas in Indiana is $2.99 a gallon, says AAA. And the Indianapolis Colts defeated the Las Vegas Raiders Sunday afternoon 40-6. Colts kicker Spencer Schrader will miss the rest of the season after hurting his knee on an extra point try. A Raiders safety, Tristan McCollum, ran right into him, which drew a penalty. Schrader was named the AFC Special Teams Player of the Month for September, and he leads the entire NFL in field goals made. Colts play the Arizona Cardinals this coming Sunday for a 1 Eastern kickoff. And now your WIBC closing bell report. At the closing bell, the Dow closed the day down 63 points to 46,694. The S&P 500 rose 24 points to 6740. The NASDAQ gained 161 points to 22,941. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:34.
Fall is in the air, and that means winter weather is right around the corner, and AAA Hoosier Motor Club wants to help make sure your car is ready. I remember dead winter, freezing cold parking garage down here at work. My battery just died. Within 40 minutes, AAA came by, put in a brand new battery, and had me on my way. AAA is hosting a free winter car check event Thursday, October 9th from 11 to 2 behind the Fashion Mall. Experienced technicians will check your lights, wipers, fluids, battery, and even more. It's free to anyone, and you don't have to register in advance. You got to love AAA.
Like their legendary emergency roadside assistance, flat tire, dead battery, run out of gas, lock your keys in the car, you name it, AAA is there for you 24/7, 365 days a year. I'm a member. You should be a member. Visit AAA.com, 844-GO, AAA GO, or stop by your local AAA office.
With your WIBC traffic now, here's Matt Bear.
All right, looking at southbound 6570 construction. Slow down north split to the south split. And eastbound 70 delayed 6 minutes from Harding into the south split. It's a stall on the exit from westbound 72 Holt. The ramp is open, a little bit blocked, partially blocked here at the moment. Northeast side, eastbound 465, 4-minute delay from Keystone Avenue over to I-69. Inbound 69 slows from 106th Street down to 82nd. And a crash south side, Troy Avenue in Madison, and a crash at 30th at Kessler. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, employee-owned B Window means business. Receive up to 50% off all products, plus 2.99% financing, and an additional $550 off your project. Trust a local, trust employee-owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now here's the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
We're tracking an active Monday night with scattered to widespread showers and isolated thunderstorms. Lows in the mid-upper 60s. Tuesday, we'll see showers in more of hit-and-miss fashion throughout the day with high temperatures in the mid-70s under plenty of cloud cover and a little bit of some breezy winds as well. By Wednesday, high temperatures may only get into the upper 60s with more sunshine back in the mix. I'm with TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Jake McDaniel. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, man, my name is Nigel. Guy Relford, the gun guy, filling in for Jason Hammer. I guess the phone banks are full. We're going to do Ask the Gun Guy. Any 2A related questions? Any criminal law related questions? 239-9393. I'll let you take over, bud.
Let's go right to the phone lines, and Andrew has called. Andrew, welcome to Hammer and Nigel.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you?
Hey, bud.
Good.
Hey, you may or may not know the answer to this guy, and if you don't, I kind of hope you can point me in the right direction. I'm sure you're familiar with the burner launchers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
By the way, for people who don't know, these things fire what's essentially a pepper ball. It's a ball that has some of the same components in it as OC spray or mace, and it supposedly hits someone, it bursts, and then that can theoretically incapacitate people without actually using a firearm that fires a solid projectile. Would you say that's accurate, Andrew?
Yeah, that's accurate. But my question is, I have a relative that's in the military, and she has a stalker, and protective orders, obviously, you can just wipe your butt with those because they don't do anything. But with being on the military, she cannot legally carry a firearm on base. Would she be able to carry one of those burner launchers since they're not technically a lethal, or I guess they're a less lethal option?
Yeah, I would certainly call it less lethal, but how broad that Army regulation is, because I'm sure it goes beyond firearms, quote unquote. And whether that's such a broad definition as to capture a burner launcher, I do not know. Now, the definition of firearm is just a weapon that expels a projectile by means of an explosion. And in my mind, compressed gas can constitute that. But we don't have any criminal cases out there that allege, for instance, a felon was in possession of a quote-unquote firearm because they had a pellet gun or an air rifle or a Byrna. So I don't think it'd be interpreted that way. But that military regulation may be much broader than just firearms, Andrew. And that'd be the first thing to check, which unfortunately I just don't know.
Andrew, is her stalker on base? Is it another? Or did we hang up on Andrew?
No, I'm not here. What was your question, Nigel?
Is her stalker on her base?
Yes, and actually worked
good God.
with her, and it's gone up the chain, and they really aren't doing anything. So we just
that's
I
a
need
huge
for her to have
problem.
something. Yeah, just need for her to have something.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, that's a tough situation.
Keep
when
us up on that. I mean, HR, your commanding officer. I mean,
yeah, no, I mean, I'd definitely be going up the chain of command to the extent this person is also a member of the military or even a civilian employee of the military. Then her chain of command ought to be the first one to step in and protect her. So no, there's definitely some more layers of that onion that need to be peeled. Let's go back to the phone lines, and Chuck is called. Chuck, welcome to Hammer and Nigel.
That's kind of funny. Nigel says by HR.
Yeah.
I mean, they got HR in the military, don't they?
I thought he said that she had a restraining order already, so she's probably talked to a judge, right?
Yeah.
It takes that to issue a restraining order, so I would think that they've already risen above HR.
Yeah. Did you have something for us, Chuck?
Yes, Guy. I wanted to ask you a question about. Sorry. I wanted to ask you. You're probably going to think I'm dumb for this one. What are the laws concerning protecting one's property with a firearm? I thought I've heard you say in the past that you could not use a firearm to only protect your property, like for business owners when the riots were going on and such. I would assume that would go to other citizenry too, right?
Yeah, and it's right in the statute. It's right in the self-defense statute. If you want to look it up, it's Indiana Code 35-41-3-2. And there's a section.
What about firing? Specifically, my question was, I had a couple of people that live locally, both have animals. Both have dogs.
Yeah, well,
one dog jumped the other one's fence, and that person then shot at the other person's dog and hit the dog, and the bullet went through the dog, and they were looking for the round that had gone off the foundation. So I know that it had gone through the dog. That dog survived, by the way. My question was, is that legal to actually use a gun in city limits to shoot at an animal? I mean, that's property, right?
Well, you got two separate whole questions. One is you can never use deadly force against a person merely to protect your personal property. So I'm not talking about your home, because that's the Castle Doctrine. That's a whole different area of the law. But as far as your personal property, your business, unfortunately, in Indiana, we've been trying to get this changed, but it's the way it currently reads. Your business is just your property, like your car or your wallet or your watch. And the statute's very clear. You cannot use deadly force against a person merely to protect your property. Now, separate question, if I'm out, walking and a dog attacks me, can I not defend myself against that dog? What's interesting is the self-defense statute only talks about justifying force against people. There's no reference to defending yourself against an aggressive animal in the self-defense statute. Still, the way that's usually approached is you're not going to get charged for that unless local prosecutors think that you endangered a human by taking that shot. And I'll guarantee you, in the case you're talking about, they're looking for where the projectile ended up, because they want to determine if it went in a direction where somebody was home, where there were other people, there were people outside, whatever it might be, to go, aha, you endangered another person. For instance, I've had multiple cases where guys are shooting out on their private property somewhere, and a round escapes their property and ends up in the neighbor's siding of their house. Well, there's somebody home at the time. They're invariably going to get charged with criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon, which is a level 6 felony. And I've had multiple cases involving animals where somebody shoots at or shoots an aggressive dog, but there were kids playing in the area, or there was somebody home across the street, or somebody cutting their grass. Aha, you endangered that person by shooting at the aggressive animal. And it's very easy to get charged, not only charged, but charged with a felony in that situation.
Anybody else? Or do we want to take a break?
Yeah,
Get more callers?
you want to take a break? I'll tell you, we got somebody else calling in on line 1. We've got John and Kevin and Mark still on hold, so we'll go right back to the phone lines when we come back.
Do you spend half your day walking or standing while working? If you have foot, knee, or low back pain, the Good Feet store wants to help you like we helped Tony.
Pain that I experience the most is foot pain from being on my feet all day. You're having to kind of talk to yourself through the whole shift, like, I got this, I can do this. Before, I felt defeated, and now it's like, all right, let's go. I'm ready. A whole new life, like sunshine coming on.
And here's Dennis.
Working at an amusement park, it's always on your feet. I just couldn't take it. I just couldn't believe that putting these arch supports in made that much of a difference that quickly. Good Feet just took that pain away, and I could do my job, and I could take care of my family. I know what my tomorrow is going to be. It's going to be positive, and it's going to be pain-free.
You deserve a better life, too. Stop into the Good Feet store today. We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall or in Greenwood, just off the 65.
Thanks to the Good Feet store. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
My wife, kids, new puppy, we all love spending time on our brand new giant custom concrete patio from Indy Decorative Concrete. My original sidewalk and front porch were falling apart, needed completely replaced. Indy Decorative Concrete came in, and they turned a basic sidewalk and porch into a custom stamped concrete area. They created even more space and an awesome, unique look with a beautiful front porch and a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete's locally owned, have been around since 2007. They don't use subs. They're all W-2 employees. No subcontractors come to your house. In fact, our project manager was the owner's son-in-law. Bottom line, Indy Decorative Concrete is the best in the business. So whether it's a new patio, sidewalk, porch, whatever, don't do anything until you've checked out IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. My wife and I cannot believe how amazing our custom porch and patio look. IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. Tell them Nigel sent you.
Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln and Fishers. Come see the full line of breathtaking Lincoln vehicles at Indiana's premier Lincoln dealership. From the moment you arrive at Tom Roush Lincoln, you'll know you've arrived. Shop over 200 new Lincolns in our state-of-the-art family-owned and operated dealership with no pressure. Just the award-winning service and respect you deserve, plus complimentary pickup and delivery for service. Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln and Fishers.
As an IT professional, you have the opportunity to guarantee your data security, participate in 100% landfill-free disposal, and have peace of mind with R2 V3 certifications. Technology Recyclers provides guaranteed complete data destruction, 100% landfill-free disposal, and the certification to back it up. Protect your data while saving the planet. Receive a free pickup of your e-waste from Technology Recyclers. Visit tech-recyclers.com. That's tech-recyclers.com.
As proud sports medicine partners of the Indianapolis Indians, Butler University, Purdue University, and the Indiana Sports Corporation, Franciscan Health is here to keep our community moving. Whether you're a weekend warrior or high school champ, we offer injury evaluations, concussion testing, and personalized recovery plans to help you get back out there. Because when you love the game, we love getting you back in it. Call 317-781-1133 or visit franciscanhealth.org/sportsmedindy.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
At Price Point Comfort, Heating and Cooling, our mission is to provide honest assessments and recommendations. We promise you'll never be sold something you don't need.
PricePointComfort.com. They are your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air dealer.
Thinning hair? This year, grow your hair back like I did. Call 317-522-2995 or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com.
Up to 50% off and 2.99% financing, plus receive an additional $550 off your project.
Because at B Windows,
We mean business. We mean business.
Snapped a great photo? Witnessed something newsworthy?
Hey, there's some news.
You can text it right to the WIBC newsroom. Join the text club. Text WIBC to 317-239-9393.
Matt Bayer, what's going on?
What's up with you, Nigel? Looking at eastbound 465, slow from Westfield Boulevard over 269. That's a 5-minute delay. Inbound 69, stop and go 106th Street, 282nd. Inbound 65, slowing down 21st to the north split. That slowdown continuing on eastbound 70 on to rural. Southbound 65, 70 slow from Washington Street down to the south split. Eastbound 73-minute delay Harding into the south split. Then southbound 65, stop and go from the south split almost to Keystone Avenue. Crash on the south side, Troy at Madison. Crash west 30th at Kessler Boulevard North. Traffic sponsored by B-Window. Right now, employee-owned B-Window means business. Receive up to 50% off all products plus 2.99% financing and an additional $550 off your project. Trust a local, trust employee-owned, trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
75 and clouds at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center, 93 WIBC. I'm Nigel Guy Relford, 2A attorney, licensed firearms instructor. We're in the middle of Ask the Gun Guy, and we have 5 minutes. Who's next?
Let's go to John, who's been on hold for a while. John, thanks for calling. Welcome to Hammer and Nigel.
Hey, thank you for having me. Got kind of a two-part question, both of which have to do with I'm a convicted felon. I used to do a lot of hunting when I was younger, and now my son's at 12 years old, and I want to get him into hunting. I've thought about bow hunting, but I don't know what restrictions there are, if there are any with going to a bow. I've heard about muzzle loaders possibly, but I'll never be able to own a firearm. And my son, I don't know if there's any ways to be able to get him where he can have one outside of being an adult on his own.
Yeah, there's not a law that says you can't own archery equipment as a convicted felon, depending on what level felon you might be, and we won't go into that on the radio, but black powder, if you're a serious violent felon in Indiana, that we still prohibit that. Otherwise, the definition of an antique firearm, if a muzzleloader meets the definition of antique, and it's a long definition, but if it meets that explanation, then it's an exception to the federal law that says you can't possess a firearm with any felony conviction. But I'll tell you what, if your conviction was long enough ago, if it was over 8 years ago, I'd look into expungement. Let's get that sucker expunged off your record if it's eligible. Not all convictions are, but a lot are. We'll get that expunged off your record and restore your rights. So I'd look at it in that order.
Is it bad? I always want to ask them what their felonies were.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah,
I
always worry. We give their first name, and then their employer might be listening or something. I
get it.
Sometimes I don't want to pry. Let's go back to the phone lines. Mark has called. Mark, welcome to Hammer and Nigel.
Guys, thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I just have a quick question. I attend a church that has a K-8 school on the property.
Yeah.
A couple days a week, they have an all-school mass. Is there any time I'm allowed to carry into church services, whether it be on the weekend when school isn't in session, or am I allowed to carry even on those days when school is in session and the students are in the church?
Well, the good news is we changed that law in 2019, and I was heavily involved in this. I fought hard for this. And what that says is that that now if you're attending a worship service or a religious ceremony on school property, because by having a school on the same property or in the same building, it's all church, it's all school property rather. It's all, so, and it used to be before 2019, if a church was on the same property with a school, you could never carry in the church. Even though there's not a separate law that says you can't carry in a church, there's a law that says you can't carry in a school. So in 2019, we said now, we changed the law, and the law now says if you're attending a worship service or a religious ceremony in a house of worship, then you can lawfully carry any firearm that you're otherwise able to lawfully carry. In other words, if you have a license or you're carrying under constitutional carry, you can now carry while you're attending a worship service or a religious ceremony, or as an employee or volunteer performing your duties for the house of worship. Employee, volunteer, or attending a worship service in any house of worship, even though it's on school property, you can now legally carry. Let's go back.
No,
Let's see. We've got
60
about
seconds.
a minute.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Let's do one more. Greg has called. Greg, welcome to Hammer and Nigel.
Hey, I appreciate you guys taking my call. And, I just have a quick question. I'm kind of piggybacking off of 2 phone calls ago. I have a felony over 10 years ago, nonviolent. And I'm going to get it expunged because we've had a couple cases where my wife and my son have gone to Target on the south side, like near Greenwood, and there was a potential child abduction of my son. And for that to happen and for me to feel like I can't protect him, it's really getting to me. So I'm just trying to figure out the next steps of, like, once I get it expunged, how long does that process take?
Well, it's as soon as the FBI updates your national criminal history, which the state police actually helps them do, and so it can be pretty darn quick. Expungement's a pretty quick process, usually within 60 days. Then they update the national criminal histories, and your rights are restored.
Hey, coming up next, an update on the Mark Sanchez arrests. A lawsuit has been filed. More on that in just a few minutes. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show, 93 WIBC.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how retailers become constantly connecting must-visit shops. How restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with our reliable business internet. Plus, stay connected when you add Wi-Fi backup for just $35 a month. And ask about a $400 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Wireless Connect requires business internet for additional monthly charge. Taxes and other fees extra. Prepaid card offer ends 11/16/25.
98 years of quality and comfort with Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Since 1927, our family-owned store has been your trusted source for top brands like Lazy Boy, Flex Steel, Tempur-Pedic, and Smith Brothers. Hey, this is Spencer Thompson, and right now, during our 98th anniversary sale, save up to 50% off on furniture and mattresses, plus free delivery, interest-free financing, and extra discounts for cash. Hurry, sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
At Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center, we're here to support you every way we can. From answering your questions to helping coordinate appointments.
The whole team has been phenomenal there. They've made me feel like I'm a family member. I get hugs every time I go in. It's been such a blessing that the great care I've received has been so close to home.
Learn more about Community MD Anderson at ecommunity.com/cancer.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, what Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears has to say about former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez injuring a man and getting arrested. That happened over the weekend in Indianapolis. And the preseason for the Indiana Pacers starts this week. You'll hear more about that soon. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
The White House says it's for safety. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. But the administration is being sued again over President Trump's use of National Guard troops, the latest challenge from Chicago's mayor and Illinois' governor.
Governor Pritzker laid out what he called President Donald Trump's playbook for sending troops to Chicago, not just from Illinois, but
hundreds of National Guard members from Texas. And he has ordered them to activate for duty in Illinois.
Pritzker said there's no need.
There is no invasion here. There is no insurrection here.
Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul said they've argued for a federal order to stop those troops from arriving
from the state of Texas or anywhere else.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt justified the president's action Monday, calling local leaders ineffective in securing their own cities.
Fox's Gernal Scott. The White House also says troops are needed to help protect immigration enforcement facilities. The mayor of Broadview, a Chicago suburb, now limiting protests to daytime hours.
Chicago's mayor has also ordered no-go zones for federal agents on public property in immigration action, and Chicago police that are barred by local and state laws from assisting federal agents are making it clear.
Police officers, if it involves law enforcement, we are going to show up.
CPD Superintendent Larry Snelling making his case that officers did respond to violent attacks on federal agents this weekend.
Fox's Jeff Manasso in Chicago. President Trump just telling reporters,
we're going to make Chicago really great again, and we're going to stop this crime. Then we're going to go do another one, and we're going to go city by city. We're going to have safe cities.
He is also not ruling out invoking the Insurrection Act. The president also just said he's willing to make a deal with Democrats on health care subsidies. This as the Senate prepares to vote again on short-term spending to end a government shutdown. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Tacking on a felony charge against former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez. It's cloudy and 73 degrees. The low tonight is 66. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 5:02. That's what Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears says he is doing. John Herrick reports.
This is a 93 WIBC News Spotlight.
Sanchez is a former NFL quarterback who was in Indianapolis to broadcast Sunday's game between the Indianapolis Colts and the Las Vegas Raiders on Fox, but that didn't happen because police say he was stabbed by a truck driver Saturday morning in downtown Indianapolis. At a Monday news conference, Mears said they've seen new evidence to show that Sanchez hurt the man badly and went overboard.
Once we were provided with additional information about the victim's current medical condition, it became clear to us that additional charges needed to be filed.
So now Sanchez is charged with battery involving serious bodily injury, which is a level 5 felony that carries with it a prison sentencing range between 1 and 6 years. The man who stabbed Sanchez says he did it in self-defense while also sustaining several serious wounds in the process. Along with this, Sanchez is also facing misdemeanor charges of unlawful entry of a vehicle, public intoxication, and battery resulting in injury. Mears explains what they've uncovered since the weekend.
An initial probable cause affidavit was filed, and we made a preliminary charging determination based on that information. As is always the case, Chief and his team continued to work on this matter, continued to track down additional details for us, and really supplemented that probable cause affidavit.
At that same news conference, IMPD Chief Chris Bailey said he's thankful this incident didn't get worse.
We're lucky that no one's dead right now.
as a result of this incident that involved a knife.
He says his officers will continue to patrol Indianapolis to make sure it is a safe place. With your WIBC News Spotlight, I'm Sean Herrick.
And the victim is now suing Sanchez, and tomorrow begins the NBA preseason for the Indiana Pacers. They will face the Minnesota Timberwolves. The regular season tips off on October 23rd against Oklahoma City. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It is 5:04.
It's Terry Stacy, and not too many locally owned businesses in central Indiana have been around 80 years. But Cardwell Do It Best on the south side has stood the test of time. Congratulations to Jeff Cardwell and Cardwell Do It Best, recently named 2025 Member of the Year by Do It Best. Autumn brings about whole new to-do lists, and Cardwell Do It Best has everything you need and even stuff you didn't know you needed, like extra keys. They make keys, including programmable keys and key fobs. Cardwell is your discount roofing headquarters, featuring dimensional roofing as low as $21 per bundle. And for the yard, find a full line of trusted lawn and garden products and Milwaukee M18 fuel cordless power tools. Come celebrate 80 years strong at Cardwell Do It Best. Locally owned, community trusted, and always ready to help you do it best. 3205 Madison Avenue. Shop online where you'll find over 67,000 products with free shipping at CardwellHomeCenter.com.
You've got WIBC traffic at 5:05. Here's Matt Baer.
All right, Eastsiders, a little bit of a hiccup here. It's a stall on southbound 465 before Penn Pike, and the left lane is closed. No delay at the moment. Also looking at eastbound 465 on the northeast side, slow from Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. Inbound 65 delayed 3 minutes 20. First to the north, split slowdown continues out to rural. Southbound 65 at 70. Stop and go traffic from the north split down to the south split, and that is a delay time of 2 minutes. Eastbound 74-minute delay from Harding into the south split. South side eastbound 465 slows at I-69 and pockets of slow over to I-65. And on the east side southbound 465 slow from Washington to Brookville Road. Crash south side. This is Troy Avenue at Madison Avenue and a stall at 30th at Kessler Boulevard North. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy present for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered to widespread showers and isolated thunderstorms are expected into our Monday night with lows in the mid to upper 60s. Then showers turn more hit and miss in coverage for our Tuesday with high temperatures in the mid 70s. I'm with TV Storm Track meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Jake McDaniel on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
Oh, man, that's funny. I'm Nigel, the gun guy, Guy Relford, filling in for a Hammer, licensed firearms instructor, 2A attorney. So the whole Mark Sanchez thing, getting arrested, attacking, allegedly, some guy in an alley, driving a truck, stabbings, blah, 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 blah. The guy that he allegedly attacked is now suing Mark Sanchez, who played at USC, was Jets quarterback, most famous for his blooper, the butt fumble. Yeah. So anyway,
and suing Fox Sports.
Yeah, and now he's suing Fox Sports and Mark Sanchez. Quote, he knew, the news giant, Fox Sports, knew or should have known about Sanchez's unfit as an employee, propensity for drinking, and for harmful conduct. So the Indy Star... they put this out. They put this story out, but they used the wrong. They used the wrong picture. It's not Mark Sanchez. It's David Pollack, another football analyst. Who went to,
Instead of the quarterback from USC, they posted a picture of the linebacker from Georgia.
Yeah, I think he played a couple of years professionally for the Bengals, and it's just like, come on, man. Oops. Come on, man. But here, but again, before we get to Ryan Hedrick, who from the WIBC newsroom has been all over this, the update is the man allegedly attacked by Mark Sanchez suing Fox Corp and Sanchez, quote, knew or should have known about his unfitness as an employee, propensity for drinking and or harmful conduct. We'll get to that. That's kind of your area here in just a few minutes. Ryan Hedrick from the WIBC Newsroom on the hotline. Nice work on covering this weekend, Ryan. What like overall your general view of kind of how this played out and how people got it wrong, and then we slowly came to realize that Sanchez was not only the victim but the aggressor. Kind of just talk about your coverage of this weekend.
Yeah, guys, thanks so much for having me on. I hope you can hear me pretty well. I'm on the west side, trying to pick up my wife right now. But, a lot of people have rushed to judgment and wanted to be first. And, under the direction of our news director, John Herrick, we were able to cover this story from different locations. We had 4 reporters working on this story over the weekend from different locations, communicating through a text group chat and using only the facts to report what we knew and then update throughout the day as the news developed. And the story's still developing today. In fact, I'm coming from the alley. Now, I want to not call it an alley anymore. I want to be more precise when I cover this. This was a street that this happened on. So South Osage Street runs north and south between North Senate Avenue and West Washington. That's where this happened, behind the Westin. Now, here's what I did just to give you guys an example of the pain and the endurance that Mark Sanchez would have had to have had if he was stabbed, if and when he was stabbed in the chest. So from the point where he was stabbed or thereabouts is 279 feet, which is where the truck driver dropped the oil off. Okay, that's approximately 3/4 of a length of a football field, 79 yards.
The truck driver was picking up recycled oil from restaurants at 12:30.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. Was not a delivery driver. A guy that was doing his job behind the Westin, charged with picking up food oil and recycling it, switching it out, whatever. When Sanchez tried to get in his truck and all this commotion broke loose. So a fight ensued. This guy stabbed Sanchez, and you could tell by the New York Post photos he was stabbed multiple times in the chest area because his shirt is just expanding. The blood
I haven't seen that.
Evident. He's bleeding out heavily as he's walking east up West Washington Street toward the pub where he actually got help. And I reported that on Saturday on TikTok and then relayed it to the WIBC news team. But it's pretty crazy to see the length that this guy had to walk, the 79 yards, guys, when you were stabbed. So I called a friend who has been stabbed before in a bad drug deal 10 years ago in Chicago. He was stabbed about the same area Sanchez was stabbed in the chest, and he said one of 2 things happened that morning. He said Sanchez, either the fight or flight kicked in, or he had so much adrenaline that he didn't even realize where he was stabbed until he collapsed kind of at the window at the pub along West Washington Street.
Well, I don't know exactly what his injuries were except for that he was stabbed, but I would say I don't think it's a stretch to say that he's lucky to be alive.
For sure.
And so now we have this lawsuit by this guy that he allegedly attacked. Do we know? I'm hearing something about he was doing wind sprints or something. Sanchez, is that a thing?
Yeah, so I don't know exactly what he was doing on that street, but whatever he was doing, he was trying to intimidate the 69-year-old guy. I mean, Sanchez was dressed down like he didn't have a suit on or anything. It looked like he had jeans and a T-shirt on.
I'm watching it now. He's got like a polo on,
Yeah, if he was running sprints in the alley, I don't know what he was practicing for. Maybe as a backup wide receiver because the Raiders could have used him on Sunday.
Sure, yeah.
But, honestly, it's baffling. Now, I went to a couple of bars, Connor's Pub, which is attached to the Marriott, and another bar to ask if Sanchez.
Yeah, that's on Maryland, right? That's.
Yeah, no, that's on. Well, yeah, that's on Maryland.
Yeah.
That's right next to the Marriott, which is on that street, and then the Westin's on the other side. But nobody would admit or say if Sanchez was drinking at their pubs or bars, so I couldn't figure out exactly where he came from. But charging docs say he was intoxicated. I don't think they gave a blood alcohol level, but as somebody with an addicted past, I can tell you when you black out drunk, all bets are off and everything's on the table.
Well, look, Ryan, thank you for your coverage. I appreciate it, and I know you're in the middle and doing some stuff with your family. Thank you for calling in and giving us the update there, man.
And real quick, guys, I've posted an update. It's about a 3.5-minute video that I filmed in back of the Westin documenting everything I just told you guys on the radio. If you want to follow me at TikTok, at Sure to Cover number 2 on TikTok. Video's uploaded right now.
Right on, Ryan. We'll listen for updates on your TikTok and tomorrow, obviously, on your news updates.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan. Guys. Appreciate it. All right.
So the alleged victim suing Mark Sanchez and Fox Corporation now, Guy Relford, who is a background a criminal defense attorney. What kind of money could we be talking about here?
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's pure speculation. We don't know everything that happened, but I mean, now he's suing him civilly.
Yeah.
Sanchez arrested, obviously. What kind of money could we be talking about?
Well, based on his injuries is the first measure of damages. So, what would a jury decide it's worth to, have that big gash in your cheek and whatever other physical injuries he incurred?
Being 69 years old and changing out restaurant oil.
Right, and then
the second thing. Night,
the second thing is what kind of lost income is he going to obtain, and then the third major category is pain and suffering. So not only the physical injuries you incurred and any permanency of those injuries, but also just the sheer pain and suffering you endured in the process. And a jury can decide to assess that. There's also a potential for punitive damages, because when you hurt someone intentionally, then they can potentially recover from you over and above what is necessary to compensate you, like with pain and suffering and the permanent injuries and lost income, but to actually punish the wrongdoer and impose what are called punitive damages, which can be in excess of your compensatory damages. So that's what it's going to be based on. What's interesting is, in a situation like this where people are fighting, invariably they both claim self-defense, right? We know the person who's been named as the victim is being labeled right now as the victim, and the prosecutor's office says it looks like he acted in self-defense. Just so people know, the way this works is the statute we passed in 2019. Now, if you use lawful force in self-defense, so let's just say hypothetically, and I'm not saying this happened, I'm not saying it's the way the lawsuit's going to go, but hypothetically, if, let's say, Mark Sanchez says, oh, no, I'm the victim here, I was the innocent person involved, and I was acting in self-defense when I hurt this guy because he was trying to stab me, right? In that case, not only Sanchez but his employer would both be immune from liability under the new civil immunity self-protection statute that we passed in 2019. And again, right now, based on what the police are saying, they think Sanchez is the guilty party. The other person was acting in self-defense, and I don't presuppose how that's going to work out.
Are we going to hear a statement from Voiles, his attorney, at some point?
Well, I've attended CLE, continuing legal education seminars taught by Jimmy Voiles, where I was also teaching a different subject, and he had a whole segment talks that says, like, when the media calls, hang up. and so Jimmy, I think as a general rule is going to decline to try his case in the media, and that's the way good lawyers do it. You want to save your facts for the courtroom and not anger the judge by trying to sway the court of public opinion. So if I had to guess, I would say no.
If it goes this guy's way civilly, are we talking 7 figures?
Potentially, yeah. Wow. Probably without some permanent injury. But if he's got a big old scar across his face, the fact that he's 69 will weigh against that a little bit. It's not like, he's a handsome young guy like you who's now got to carry that scar around for 40, 50 years.
Yeah, that shouldn't matter.
But it's still, it could be a lot of, and certainly punitive damage. There's a cap on punitive damages in Indiana, but you could potentially reach 7 figures altogether. Sure.
Wow. Matt Bear, what's going on with traffic?
Yeah, Nigel, inbound 65, 5-minute delay, 21st to Meridian. Southbound 65, 70 delayed, 3 minutes from the north split to the south split. Inbound 69, stop and go 96 to 82nd. Eastbound 72-minute delay from Harding into the south split. Crash southeast side, Southeastern Avenue, rural. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard the Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom print shipping services, even passport photos. Staples. That was easy. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
The one guy we haven't heard from yet, I've got some audio of the bartender who helped Mark Sanchez as he was walking.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this video at the New York Post of him kind of wandering down. I think Ryan Hendrick said, like, from where it happened, he walked like 200 yards or something.
Was that at Lohmeyer's Pub?
Loft-Miller's.
Is that how you pronounce that?
I think that's how you pronounce it. So we'll have that audio next. It is, let me get this accurate here, 74, cloudy. The American Standard Cooling Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
The Voice of Health Minute with Dr. Robert Prather of Holistic Integration. Can structure-function care be important for treatment of ADHD?
It's absolutely essential. There are reasons for everything. Yes, the pharmaceuticals are an effective means of doing that, but you're not really curing anything. You're not really fixing anything. It's helping with the symptomatology while it's in the system only, and causing long-term problems and even some short-term problems. So yes, that is something that's an option, but you should be pursuing structure-function care to find out exactly what's going on to help with the underlying problem. If it's heavy metals, the sooner that you can get onto that, the less brain changes actually occur, because those neurotoxins are what is actually causing the problem with brain changes structurally and functionally.
The Voice of Health with Dr. Robert Prather, Sundays at 8 p.m. or anytime at thevoiceofhealthradio.com.
Indy, don't use the beautiful fall to paint. Do what Deanna did. She called Rhino Shield.
I was noticing some cracks and the paint's faded. I was like, okay, I think I should get my house painted. So my neighbor had a Rhino Shield placard in the yard. And after they were finished, I was just, wow. With the warranty and everything, it just seemed silly not to go that route.
The ceramic coating of Rhino Shield is specifically formulated for our climate.
So the Rhino Shield crew came out. Nothing was damaged in the process. I was very happy. They just didn't leave a mess. You couldn't even tell they were there. And the house looked so different. It just looked like a new home.
Backed by a 25-year transferable warranty. And now get the protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
Rhino Shield, I think it increases the value and the curb appeal of your home. Definitely worth it.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Pat Sullivan here with Michaela of Michaelis. If you have water damage, why should you call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years experience. On call 24/7, 365. We are IICRC certified and will restore your space to pre-loss condition or better. And we work through the entire insurance process on your behalf to make it easy.
Water, storms, fire, and mold. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY.
Has your house become a burden? Why not sell it to us? Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to assist people in difficult situations.
Wanda's been in real estate. I've been in construction.
Probably we've flipped about 40 houses. I don't want to do it anymore. We're in our early 80s. Sometimes you have to give it up.
James, he did a good job.
When I got the purchase agreement, and he did have things in there that was pertinent to me.
James followed through on what he said.
Call Simple Quarters 317-900-HOME.
20 ribeyes for $35. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at 2 locations in Indianapolis going on now. 20 ribeyes for only $35 in the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Just look for the big truck. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Also on the big truck is cases of T-bones, fillets, New York strips, burgers, and a whole lot more. Big truck sale. Marinated chicken breasts too. Don't wait. wait. Big steak sale at 2 different locations. In the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. 20 ribeyes for just $35. Don't wait. Everything must go. Big truck sale. That's 20 ribeyes for $35. West 86th Street and Michigan Road. And the second location in the Hardee's parking lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Get there before the truck is gone.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
I just realized the only thing we haven't done today is talk about the actual Colts game. That blowout against the Raiders yesterday at home at Lucas Oil. What is 40-6?
Yeah.
Something like that. Guy Relford filling in for Hammer. At what point, you were there, at what point did the Raiders fans kind of sheepishly get up out of their seats and shamefully walk out the door?
You know, I had a couple of Raiders fans sitting near me. I waited to the last second and just got a single seat, and so I had really nice seats at a decent price, or really nice seat. And they left pretty much beginning of the fourth quarter. But what was interesting about that game, we were talking about this off air, is the Colts didn't score in the first quarter and didn't score in the fourth quarter. They scored 40 points in 2 quarters. And so, halfway through the third quarter, it started getting piled on pretty quickly and became pretty apparent.
Could have used a field goal at some point by either team
to hit the over?
To hit that over. We'll be speaking with Kevin Bowen from 107.5 The Fan here at the bottom of the hour to get his breakdown of the game and just what we need to know and what the Colts can be looking forward to here in the future, because they've got a decently easy schedule. I mean, they've got the
next 4 or 5 games, certainly.
Yeah, I mean, the Steelers are coming up.
Yeah.
They got to fly. I think they're playing the Chargers out in L.A.
Yeah, that's right.
But still, I don't want to get I'm notoriously famous for jinxing any and all sports franchises, and even Hammer's bets I've jinxed before. So.
By the way, that win yesterday and to be there in the stadium was satisfying for me because I've seen the Colts play the Raiders in Oakland before the Vegas move, and that is a hostile environment. Let me tell you, I would put that in my top 3 or 4. So I've seen the Colts play in 29 different stadiums, and I'd put that in my top 3 or 4 for hostile environment. So I'm not the kind of person who's going to abuse any visiting fans. I just say, hey, welcome to Indy. I hope we kick your ass, and that's it. But I got abused pretty hard in Oakland, so it was fun for me to win that one yesterday with not a lot, but some fair amount of Raider fans there in attendance.
I did want to play this audio of the bartender that helped Mark Sanchez after the incident with the stabbing and the guy that was driving the truck. Sanchez went to a nearby bar for help after already been stabbed. I'm looking at the New York Post right now. He's got blood all over his shirt. So here is the bartender who brought him in. His name's Scott Bennett of Loft Miller's Pub.
As I was closing, somebody was banging on the window, saw that the person needed help, and had blood on him. He said that he had been shot, brought him inside, laid him down, called 911, put towels over injuries that he had. I was trying to talk to him a little bit. It was a little bit trying to get his name. Couldn't really understand what he was saying. I didn't recognize him.
So he's telling the guy he was shot.
Yeah.
I think he was out of his mind. Just speculating. There's reports that he told the cops that all he remembers is grabbing this guy's window, and that's all he remembers.
Yeah, and by the way, adrenaline and being physically hurt can have a dramatic impact on your memory. And one of the reasons we advise people to not make statements at the scene if they're involved in a self-defense incident is because you're going to screw it up. And adrenaline does that. Adrenaline and pain. certainly can screw you up dramatically. I've been through training exercise where we simulate an adrenaline surge as part of a training exercise, and then we immediately get somebody in the student's face screaming and yelling questions at them, and they get everything wrong. Everything. And so I'm not surprised at all.
One clip here, there's a press conference with the prosecutor and IMPD Chief Bailey earlier today about, they upped it to a felony from a misdemeanor. Yeah. And here is Ryan Mears and why he was actually able to file charges.
There's a supporting probable cause affidavit which was filed with the court, which outlines the additional information which we have received thanks to the effort of IMPD. And that's why we were able to file the charges.
And then he needed even more details to file additional charges.
Once we were provided with additional information about the victim's current medical condition, it became clear to us that additional charges needed to be filed.
You want to do Moonshine Monday with me?
Absolutely.
Hammer's got like a collection back there, and even though he's not here today, we'll do that at about 5:45 or so. Next, we're talking to Kevin Bowen. We're going to talk about that Colts game and everything you needed to know about what happened yesterday. Right after a look at the news, 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Political battle heating up. The sky is cloudy and it's 73 degrees in downtown Indy. Lows tonight in the mid-60s. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 529. Illinois is suing the Trump administration because of the federal agents and National Guard troops that were sent to the Chicago area last month. This all stems from that immigration action called Operation Midway Blitz. Now the Trump administration ordered 300 National Guard troops to Illinois and 200 from Texas to join in. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson explains his motive behind executive orders creating ICE-free zones.
The executive orders are about ensuring that we are protecting the people of Chicago and defending our democracy.
What those new ICE-free zone orders do is stop federal agents like ICE from using any city property for certain immigration operations. A tornado that hit North Dakota this past summer was one for the record books. Fox's Kevin Uretsky explains why.
The tornado in Enderlin, North Dakota, June the 20th, has been upgraded by the National Weather Service to an EF5, the most intense there is on the enhanced Vegeta scale, and the first to hit the U.S. in 12 years. 3 people died. Newly released damage analysis estimates the tornado's winds at over 210 miles per hour. That as it passed over train tracks, tipping over cars fully loaded with grain and throwing an empty tanker more than 475 feet away. A farmstead was swept clean to the foundation. The last EF5 reported in the U.S. was in Moore, Oklahoma in May 2013. Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
An American College of Cardiology meeting in Dubai suggests that immigrants who live in the U.S. for a long time might face a higher risk of heart disease. Researchers found that immigrants who had been in America for more than 15 years had higher rates of high cholesterol and diabetes compared to people born in the U.S. The thought is that once people settle in, they start eating like many Americans, more processed foods, sugar, and fat, and they might also stop being as physically active as they were in their home countries. Researchers looked at data from nearly 16,000 adults for this one. And the Indiana Pacers begin their NBA preseason tomorrow night against the Minnesota Timberwolves. In a couple weeks, the regular season starts as they face the Oklahoma City Thunder. WIBC traffic at 5:31. Here's Matt Bear.
Southbound 65 at Boone County. Stopped right now, Whitestone Parkway to the Dog Leg, 865. Inbound 69, 4-minute delay, 106th Street, 282nd. Inbound 65, 2-minute delay, 21st to Meridian. Eastbound 70 slows from Harding Street into the South Split. That's delayed 3 minutes. East side southbound 465, stop and go traffic from 70 down to Brookville Road. Crash southeast side, Southeastern Avenue at Rural, and a crash on the west side, Tibbs Avenue at 20th Street. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy Button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now here's the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
We're tracking an active Monday night with scattered or widespread showers and isolated thunderstorms. Lows in the mid-upper 60s. Tuesday, we'll see showers in more of hit-and-miss fashion throughout the day with high temperatures in the mid-70s under plenty of cloud cover and a little bit of some breezy winds as well. By Wednesday, high temperatures may only get into the upper 60s for what will feel more fall-like as well, with more sunshine back in the mix by the middle of the work week. I'm with TV Storm Track meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Jake McDaniel on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel, 93 WIBC.
You're a famous radio personality.
Famous.
I'm not famous.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. My name is Nigel. The gun guy, Guy Relford, filling in for Hammer. Colts killed the Raiders yesterday, 40-6. Killed me on that over, too. I'm going to talk to you about that at some point. We got Kevin Bowen here on the WIBC hotline. Kevin Bowen from the Fan Morning Show. So much to talk about from yesterday's game, KB. But did you have Mark Sanchez getting stabbed and then actually being arrested after the stabbing on your bingo card for this weekend?
I can't say I did. It's I guess not funny, but someone texted me on Saturday. They're like, "Hey man, you're about ready to see a headline that says Mark Sanchez got stabbed and he's the suspect," and I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't. I guess you take the guy out, take the boy out of USC, but you can't take the USC out of the boy, maybe.
Well, look. Here's my question for you in your morning show this morning. What was the audience? You take a lot more phone calls than we do on our program. What did the audience want to talk about more, the Indianapolis Colts or the incident with Mark Sanchez?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a little bit of both. I'd say, give Colts fans credit, give football fans credit, as salacious of a headline as that is. I think they wanted to talk about their football team, and honestly, we're talking about a Colts team that, is doing things we haven't seen in quite some time. But still, we had to sprinkle in a little Sanchez definitely throughout, because that story is, again, it's incredible. And honestly, at this point, I just need video of him sprinting down the alley. I think that's about the only thing missing from this story so far.
So bizarre. We're covering it here on our radio station extensively with updates from Guy Relford, who is a criminal defense attorney too. So 40-6, I had the over. It was like 47.5. Who robbed me of those 2 points? What play robbed? Was it the holding call where the special teams ran it back with the Colts teams? Was that it? You think that was it?
Yeah, that was probably the one, because I think it was a hold, but it wasn't really near the kick return for the touchdown. And Ashton Doolin, for those unfamiliar with the story, the guy who returned the kick for a touchdown, undrafted free agent, works his you-know-what off. He was playing for kind of the knucklehead play from A.D. Mitchell the week prior. Like, he deserved it more than anyone, so I felt awful for him in that moment.
Oh, man. What big picture were we looking at yesterday as Colts fans? Was this just are the Raiders, another bad, just average, bad team, or have the Colts fans and the people that pay attention to this missed something?
Well, I think one thing to keep in mind is certainly the Colts, I think, have played one of the easier schedules in the NFL. But just because an easy schedule is presented in front of you doesn't mean NFL teams take advantage of it, nor have the Colts. And I guess to put a little context around it, Nige, the Colts have won 3 games by at least 20 points this season.
Yeah, wow.
They hadn't won 1 game by 20 points last year, the year before that, or the year before that. They hadn't won a game by 20 points since 2021. And now they've done it 3 times in 5 weeks. So, I get that these teams are likely drafting high, but, teams drafting high with bad quarterbacks have beaten the Colts in recent years. Yeah. So for you to not only win these games, but beat the you-know-what out of these teams, that tells me something. The NFL season's a long grind. 17 weeks is a long, long time. But still, for those saying, the Colts have an easy schedule, who cares?
Who are you worried about? Who are you worried? As a Colts fan, who are we worried about at this point, looking ahead on the schedule? Arizona?
Well, yeah, schedule-wise, I'll be curious. The Chargers, another trip out to the West Coast. Yeah. I know that their offensive line's a little banged up. You do go to Pittsburgh, I want to say, in a few weeks, about a month's time. That's always been a difficult place to play. But even when the schedule came out in May, it was definitely more backloaded than front-loaded. So once you get back from your bye week, you go to Kansas City, you go to Seattle, you face Jacksonville, who tonight is playing for a chance to go 4-1 to start the year. So, again, it is a little bit more backloaded, but still, the Colts are doing things they haven't done in years, and they deserve credit for that.
Who is the face of this franchise at this point? I mean, it's got to be Jonathan Taylor, right? But Daniel Jones is right up there with him, you think?
Yeah, I mean, Jones has played outstanding. I thought yesterday was his best individual play when he rolled out to his right late in the first half and found Michael Pittman Jr. in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. And, again, so much credit to, Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen for going out, getting Daniel Jones, and then really believing that, hey, the New York Giants was a disastrous organization, and we're going to support him better. And if we support him better, we think there's something there in the former top 10 pick. And, there are some resurrection projects around the league that are working. Baker Mayfield in Tampa is one of those. Now, there are some that kind of fizzle out, but right now, and again, yesterday was a perfect example of it, no negative plays, pretty methodical, and, it's kind of wild to say. I mean, the Colts were down 3-0 early in the second quarter, and then you blink, and they score 40 points in the second and the third quarter. I mean, it was amazing
crazy
how quickly that game changed.
What happened? We're speaking with Kevin Bowen from 107.5 The Fan. What happened with Spencer Schrader, man? That was a bummer. The kicker, what's the status?
Yeah, so it sounds like a really serious knee injury for him, unfortunately. Yeah, that was awful. It clearly looked bad, and so, looks like that's going to impact him in a significant manner. So the Colts are going to have to do the old kicker tryouts this week, and we will see exactly who their new place kicker will be. I thought it was a hair dirty. I don't know if there's, rule book evidence that could lead to that. I get guys are, laying out for these block kicks, and sometimes that's part of it. But, it just felt like with the Raiders getting one blocked against them the week prior, the Colts had blocked a punt for them, earlier in that second quarter. I just thought it was a little bit, crossing the line. But, hopefully a full recovery for him because he was, having a really nice start. And he's a local guy. He, lived in Westfield for a large portion of his childhood and spent his final collegiate year up at Notre Dame.
And then can you explain to me, they couldn't find a backup kicker, Sanchez or whoever? Like, they kept on throwing the extra points every time. There was nobody that could kick an extra point?
Yeah, I thought that was a little odd, to be honest with you.
Did you really?
Yeah, so I get that, teams don't carry a backup kicker. You're only allowed to dress 46 guys on game day.
Yeah.
I totally understand that. But the odd part was, I thought it was potentially a good opportunity to let Rigoberto Sanchez, kick an extra point.
Yes.
He did kick in college. And just in case one of those situations arises during a game, boom, you've at least worked on the operation because weirdly, the Colts long snapper would have become their holder in that situation. That's kind of the oddity in how they change it up. But so Luke Rhodes would have become their holder. Drew Ogletree, a backup tight end, would have become their long snapper. So Shane Steichen just kept on going for two-point conversion after two-point conversion. I'm like, well, you're up by 1 million. Why not just kick the extra points so these guys at least get a game rep? But, Shane elected otherwise.
Hey, and then finally, because it's funny, we're just talking about kickers and Mark Sanchez. We're not really talking about the game just because it was a blowout. But hey, I saw, because I had a bunch of friends over yesterday drinking some beers, and as the game progressed, we just kind of lost interest. Did I see Anthony Richardson in the game at one point? And how'd he do?
Indeed, Anthony Richardson, he threw a pass that he caught himself. The ball was batted up in the air.
I saw that part.
He showed his tremendous athleticism and hauled in the catch and really did a nice job of gaining some yards after the catch. It was really a very impressive feat. And then later, which doesn't shock anyone, A.D. Mitchell was also in the game, and Anthony Richardson threw a ball 20 yards over the head of A.D. Mitchell. So miscommunication with those two we were used to last season. Really miscommunication between Joe Flacco and A.D. Mitchell we were used to last season. So, yeah, he played the final 11 minutes, which, again, NFL games, Nige, you just don't see blowouts like that where your backup quarterback is treated like a walk-on, and that's like pretty much how the Colts treated Anthony Richardson and really a lot of their frontline starters yesterday.
And a brother couldn't get an extra 2 points somewhere. Not a field goal, not a touchdown with, like you said, 11 minutes left. I couldn't. Oh, man, that killed my parlay. So, real quick, I know the Pacers had their fan jam thing over the weekend. What's the schedule in terms of preseason, and just your quick overall thoughts of what we can expect from the Pacers this season?
Yes, I was actually over at Pacers practice earlier today. They are off to Minnesota for their preseason opener, so that is tomorrow night.
Wow.
They'll play 4 preseason games here, and then their regular season opener will be against the Thunder, ironically, and that will be 2 weeks from Thursday. So I want to say that's the 23rd of October. That will be when things officially get underway. So, there you go. It's kind of crazy that it's back to being here. I saw some Pacers staffers getting ready to head to the airport, and they're like, here we go again. It just seems like last season just ended for them.
So what's going on the show tomorrow?
So we will have Ashton Dillon. I mentioned to him earlier. We played that like in the 9 o'clock hour today. I know our morning commute audience can vary. So for those in the 7 o'clock commute time, we'll play that around 7:30. Really great story about, again, an undrafted free agent from Malone. They don't even play football at Malone anymore. It's a school in Ohio. And he's carved out just a great role with the Colts. So we'll play that coming up at 7:30. And then starting to look ahead to a huge one for Kurt Signetti. IU at Oregon. College game day will be their top 10 matchup Saturday afternoon.
Wow. There you go, Kevin Bowen from 107.5 The Fan. Thank you so much, sir. Have a great week.
You bet, Nigel. Thanks for having me.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text SAVVY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text SAVVY to 42424. That's SAVVY to 42424.
Central Indiana knows tough, but your water shouldn't be. Indiana ranks among the hardest water in the country, and your home is paying the price. Connecticut's non-electric technology means no timer, settings, or headaches. Just water that works, even when the power doesn't. And the twin tank design means clean, soft water 24/7. Connecticut water softeners are the solution, made in the U.S. Visit ConnecticutIndy.com and mention Made in the U.S. for an additional $250 off your purchase of a softener. Connecticut, American-made, Midwest tough.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, Hammer and Nigel here. Guys, you can feel your energy slipping away, losing what makes you you. It could be low testosterone. You got to take action now. Synergen X and Low T Center can help reclaim your energy with a quick and simple free T-test. So visit a local Synergen X or Low T Center and receive pharmaceutical-grade testosterone, never compounded like the other clinics. Experienced providers increase your testosterone to the level that is right just for you.
Treatment is covered by most major health insurance. Book that free T-test right now at trtmvp.com. If your energy is slipping away, it could be low testosterone. Synergen X and Low T Center offer a quick, free T-test. Get pharmaceutical-grade testosterone, personalized by experts just for you. Most insurance covers it. The best you is waiting. trtmvp.com. That's trtmvp.com.
Shop the 95th anniversary sale at Grand Appliance to save on top brands like GE, Cafe, and more. Visit grandappliance.com or your local showroom for details. That's grandappliance.com.
At Price Point Comfort, we promise you'll never be sold something you don't need. Call us at 317-455-1124 or see us at pricepointcomfort.com.
Price Point Comfort is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air dealer.
Forget digging through clutter to find what matters. The WIBC Daily Newsletter puts the biggest local stories and exclusive show moments in your inbox and lets you skip the scroll. Sign up by clicking Connect at WIBC.com.
Matt Bear, what's going on with traffic?
All right, Nigel. Boone County southbound 65 slow from Whitestown Parkway into the Dogleg 865. Eastbound 465 slow from Keystone Avenue 269. Southbound 6570 stop and go from the north split to the south split. And a crash on the west side. This is Tibbs at 20th. And a crash southeast side, Southeastern Avenue at Rural. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, employee-owned B Window means business. Receive up to 50% off all products, plus 2.99% financing at an additional $550 off your projects. Trust a local, trust employee-owned, trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
74 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center, 93 WIBC. Look at Guy Relford shows up for Moonshine Monday, Beer Sample Friday. It doesn't get any better than this, does it, brother?
Yeah, coincidence? I don't think so.
We had, first of all, our listeners are the best. Hammer and Nigel listeners specifically are the best. We had an anonymous, a listener who wished to remain anonymous because, well, this moonshine's illegal.
Oh, yeah, well, there's that.
So there's that. But he gave us a whole bunch. So a whole bunch of different flavors. And we're going to test some right now.
Awesome.
So you want to? Are you game?
Yeah, you betcha.
I'm going to pass the mason jar over to you. And just tell the audience what we're about to taste.
Pineapple upside down cake. Moonshine.
Don't let that fool you, because you're definitely going to. I can guarantee, judging by the past, we did apple pie, we did peach. Just because it says pineapple upside down cake doesn't mean there ain't no moonshine in it.
I think we had apple pie not too long ago.
Is that right?
Or maybe that was just in Hammer's office.
Maybe it was just in Hammer's office after the show.
But it was pretty damn good.
So thank you to our I think he's a radical Hammer and Nigel fan.
Awesome.
We've got several more of these. So cheers to Moonshine Monday.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
You know, that is just the right. It's the right combination of of sweetness and with a little kick to it.
It's got a kick.
It's got a little kick to it.
Can you tell there's a little kick to it? Speaking of kick, I was so disappointed that the Colts kicker is out for the season. Notre Dame kid.
Yeah,
he went to Westfield for a while.
Yep.
Man, what a disappointment. He was having a hell of a season, wasn't he?
I was at that game yesterday. It happened right in front of me. And, at first you saw the flag go up and you said, all right, penalty. We'll get something out of this.
Yeah.
And then realized he's hurt, and that's when it all went to hell. And then what was really interesting, they have, Rigoberto Sanchez is their backup kicker,
right?
But they don't have a backup holder.
They don't have backup holders. They don't have backup long snapper. It would have been a whole calamity of the things.
Well, you're right. I mean, the long snapper could be the holder, but then they got to find another long snapper, and the whole thing is just kind of a parade of errors.
And then Anthony Richardson. We were talking about that with Kevin Bowen just a minute ago. I thought it was kind of cool, fun to see him in there for like 11 minutes. Overthrowing guys by 20 yards.
Well, on the long ball, he clearly did. But, people were making fun of him because they said he'll even intercept his own pass.
Yeah, and he did. He did, right? He caught his own pass.
You know what, though? I give him big cred for that play because he caught it out of midair after it was batted up by a defensive lineman. He caught it, and then he plowed over about 10 dudes.
Got some yards after catch.
And got a first down out of it. So, I mean, I thought it showed some athleticism, and I was cheering for him.
Indy, stop using the fall to paint year after year. Do what Lynn did. She called Rhino Shield.
It is a single-wide manufactured home. We moved from our home, which we had the Rhino Shield on. Rhino Shield was what we were going to do. That was no question. We knew we were going to do it.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating. It's not paint. It's better.
The Rhino Shield representative came, and we discussed what we wanted done. And this time, we had the roof done as well.
Now, you can have the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
Even the people that have been a little younger than us have said they don't have to worry about getting just an everyday painter because Rhino Shield has the 25-year warranty, and we truly believe in this product.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Attention Indiana homeowners. Are you dealing with a wet and moldy crawl space? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts dedicated to fixing your crawl space right the first time. And with our new no interest, no payment financing, you can get the repairs you need without breaking the bank. Don't let crawl space water problems dampen your spirits. Call Swain Co., Indy's most trusted waterproofing experts at 317-407-1868 or swaincollc.com.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks, and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Alex Brown.
DePauw University has publicly launched what it says is the largest fundraising campaign in the university's 188-year history. The $575 million Bold, Gold, and You campaign was spearheaded by a $150 million lead gift that DePauw received in February 2024. Among the priorities for the campaign is $172 million to enhance campus life through upgraded housing, expanded study abroad opportunities, enriched internship and research programs, and a thriving athletic culture, as well as $150 million for scholarships. To date, the university says it has raised $285 million toward its ultimate goal. Community Health Network today named Dr. Patrick McGill, a family physician known for his leadership in strategic growth and technology, as its new president and CEO. He succeeds longtime CEO Brian Mills, who announced his retirement earlier this year after more than 40 years working for the health system. Taylor University has broken ground on its new $68 million chapel and welcome center, which is being described as the heartbeat of Taylor. When complete, the new chapel will more than double the amount of space of the university's existing Rediger Chapel, while the Welcome Center will serve as the university's front door. The project is part of Taylor's $500 million capital campaign launched in April 2024. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress. From the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, investing connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures. Visit elevateventures.com.
The University of Notre Dame has joined the Global Coalition of Ukrainian Studies, an international initiative among universities and research organizations to foster a better understanding of the Eastern European country. At Notre Dame, the partnership will involve the exchange of experience, resources, and ideas to strengthen Ukrainian studies across the university. I'm Alex Brown for 93 WIBC.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, you'll hear updates about former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez. You'll hear why the son of former Indiana governor and senator has decided to run for Secretary of State. Agriculture, food, and natural resources are why a convention you'll hear about is big. Those stories coming up next after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 6 o'clock.
More fallout expected. I'm Tom Graham, Fox News. The Trump administration is warning of layoffs as the government shutdown closes in on a week.
Any federal workers who lose their jobs because of a prolonged government shutdown should blame Democrats, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says.
This conversation about layoffs would not be happening right now if the Democrats did not vote to shut the government down.
But in previous shutdowns, including the longest one in U.S. history during President Trump's first term, federal workers were furloughed and returned to work when the government reopened.
This administration is focusing on checking the balance sheet and ensuring we're doing the right thing by the American taxpayer.
Leavitt would not say when layoffs will begin, but urged Democrats to quickly support a Republican-backed short-term spending bill. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The Senate is voting again on a bill to end the shutdown, but passage is not expected. Israel and Hamas are kicking off fresh negotiations following a proposed U.S. peace plan to end the war in Gaza. Fox's Jennifer Griffin is in Tel Aviv.
The talks in Egypt will focus on the release of hostages. Hamas is reportedly trying to find the living hostages, some of whom are in underground tunnels where they have been starved and forced to dig their own graves, and to unearth the corpses of those who are already dead. Israel, in exchange, will release 250 Palestinian prisoners serving life sentences here in Israel and 1,700 others captured since October 7th, including women and teenagers. For every dead Israeli hostage, Israel will return 15 dead Palestinian prisoners. The harder issues of disarmament and withdrawal will have to wait.
48 Israeli hostages still in Gaza, with 20 presumed to be alive. Venezuela warning today of an alleged plan by extremists to attack a shuttered U.S. embassy complex in that nation's capital city. This comes as tensions simmer over Washington's military deployment in the Caribbean. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez faces a felony charge. You've got cloudy skies on Monument Circle, 72 degrees, low tonight, 67. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 6:02. It was for Saturday's stabbing incident in downtown Indianapolis. John Herrick reports.
He's still charged with several misdemeanors, but now on top of that, Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears said Monday that Sanchez is also facing a charge of battery involving serious bodily injury.
This is by no means the end of this investigation. This by no means that these are going to be the final charges that we move forward with.
And that is also a level 5 felony charge, which carries a sentencing range between 1 and 6 years. Police say the man who stabbed Sanchez did so after things escalated in a fight between the two of them. The man says he had to defend himself because if he didn't, he feared Sanchez would have killed him. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And the man is suing Sanchez and Fox Corporation, which was where he worked. There's a new candidate for Indiana Secretary of State. Bo Bai is running for it as a Democrat. He explained why in a video he posted to social media this morning.
We deserve a Secretary of State that works for the people, not himself. So here's my plan. First, accountability for every tax dollar. I'll call out corruption, wasteful spending, and government abuse wherever we find it.
He also says he wants to support businesses that are helping the economy, make sure elections are fair and secure, and eliminate oppressive taxes. Bo Bai is the son of former Indiana Governor Evan Bai. The FFA will bring in tens of thousands of students and supporters that are set to come to Indianapolis at the end of this month to learn about agriculture, natural resources, and more.
National FFA is a national organization that really works with young people who are interested in agriculture, food, and natural resources, and helping them to develop their skills for premier leadership, personal growth, and career success.
That's Christine White. She is the Chief Program Officer of the National FFA organization. And tomorrow begins the NBA preseason for the Indiana Pacers. They will face the Minnesota Timberwolves. The regular season tips off on October 23rd against Oklahoma City. Time is 6:04. Your traffic and weather in 1 minute.
We still have plenty of days left to enjoy our backyard spaces. It's Terry Stacy, and thanks to Premier Deck Coating, our deck is protected from the harsh environment fall and winter bring. Harsh because our deck is surrounded by black walnut trees, so nuts have always stained our deck. We just don't have that problem anymore because of Premier Deck Coating. Our 25-year-old deck looks brand new, and it's not. Locally owned Premier Deck Coating is the ultimate deck protection. Their special formulated product repels mold and moisture, scratch resistant, all backed by a 10-year guarantee. Premier Deck Coating takes care of sanding the wood. They repair the damaged boards in preparation before they apply the special formulated coating. They can also do the same for pergolas and fences. You truly will be thrilled with the results. No more painting year after year, easy to take care of, and that saves time and money. Premier Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. There's still time to get you on the schedule before the year ends. For a free quote, visit premierdeckcoating.com.
Traffic at 6:05. Matt Bear, what you got?
Southbound 65 still slow. 21st to Meridian, and then southbound 65 70. Stop and go traffic from the north split to the south split. Northbound 65 slow before Raymond into the south split because of construction. That's a 3-minute delay. Crash Lafayette Road at I-65. Crash on the east side, 30th at Post. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard the Staples Easy Button is back with even more easy press it for custom print shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Here's the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
We're tracking an active Monday night with scattered or widespread showers and isolated thunderstorms, lows in the mid-upper 60s. Tuesday, we'll see showers in more of hit-and-miss fashion throughout the day with high temperatures in the mid-70s under plenty of cloud cover and a little bit of some breezy winds as well. By Wednesday, high temperatures may only get into the upper 60s with more sunshine back in the mix. I'm with TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jake McDaniel. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these